I don't know if I've ever seen you before, Nigerian guy person. Fucking. But I don't have tits. I'm a fucking femboy, allegedly, apparently. I have some White Claws that I need to finish off, okay? So, that's what I'm doing. Fuck me. Furry. I'm watching a furry streamer at 2:23 with work at 6. I'm truly on another level. You probably should sleep. The cum claws? What do you mean? I don't have claws. I got gloves. Pyro video. Apparently, Amos was like helping fucking Parlo on his bullshit. Parlo's video is gonna come out, I guess, in spite of everything. So I'm gonna watch the Pyro video. Also, loving the model. Yeah, this is an older one, but oh shit, this one's kind of full. I do have a sneak peek of my thing. That's actually pretty short. I might as well do that first. I might as well do the sneak peek first. Hold on. Covering KP's recent copyright strikes. I mean, what is there to say about it other than like I don't know what she thinks she's gonna get out of it. Because if someone's channel, because here's the thing, she could copyright strike people, and maybe that's not enough for the situation to blow up. If someone loses their fucking channel because of that, that's gonna be really bad for her. That's gonna be really, really fucking bad for her. If someone loses their fucking channel because of her fucking false copyright striking and false privacy complaints, dude, she is like actually completely fucked. All right, here's a sneak peek of my fucking Doodle Tones thing. This is about the Cloud Palace.
Initiating FTL jump to
the Cloud Palace.
system.
To summarize this situation, hold on, my fat head's kind of blocking the way. Cloak and Dagger was a series of calls wherein select nefarious individuals. I will say it's this one's not as funny as the other ones, because I mean it's shorter. Number one, it's shorter, but like I'm at the point in the development process where I just want to get this fucking video done. So like I don't have time to do like funny, stupid little edits, but there are a couple of funny things. Yeah. Cloud Palace were grilled for knowing that. Oh, the Finster stuff. Actually, funnily enough, I was watching Morale and I was like kind of sort of convincing Morale to like cover the Finster shit, and he kind of did, and I was looking into it at the same time. And it's like, it's such a nothing drama. Finster's like completely innocent. It looks like people are just overreacting. Guy by the name of Vigil was still actively friends with an ex-Cloud Palace member and child predator V Omega. V's victims were still in the Cloud Palace, which obviously can create some concern. Underneath that surface reveals that Doodle Tones sacrificed members of her community to protect her own image and to prevent any eyes from getting curious as to what was going on in her server. And believe me when I say, an audit to this bitch might as well be getting shot in the face. Okay, so the wording of that was like really weird in hindsight. But essentially what I'm trying to say is that like she is so terrified of having her server looked into that she's willing to throw people under. Like the idea of having like an audit on her fucking Discord server is like the equivalent of like getting shot in the face. Like specifically, the videos in relation to this situation are Cloak and Dagger, A Cloud Palace's Tale, posted in July of 2023 by Doodle, and the follow-up video uploaded on Lyle's channel, The Price of Silence, a slideshow commentary tale, in August of 2023. Fucking ironic titling. I saw the critical like stuff. With the FCK, I'm going to try and keep names to a minimum as to avoid confusion and keep things zeroed in on Susie. Trust me, there are like 15 glup shittos introduced into every drama she gets involved in. I'm doing you a favor.
There's somebody else here. We should be able to unmute. Easy. Everything you want
The first thing I thought of was this clip. Of this moment.
to say to these clowns?
I only really have a few things.
Oh
my
my
god,
god,
because-
who the fuck is this? Is this Nega Doodle Tone? What the fuck?
Dude, it's so stupid.
Who the hell
Thoughts?
is this?
It's dumb.
Pink Robot is a slideshow commentary channel, much like Susie. Unlike Susie, as far as I could see, this person kept their nose clean and didn't really associate
up?
strongly with the community, mainly keeping to themselves. For some reason, they had been reached out to, specifically by an ex-member of the Cloud Palace, who was a minor. This kid had testified that the Cloud Palace was not only still harboring people who were openly friends with the child predator V Omega, but minors were told to shut up and not talk about it by the user in question. The user being referenced goes by Vigil. Pink Robot reaches out to Doodle Tones to kind of interrogate them about.
I like that edit. I love that edit so much. Of just like throwing the fucking beer bottle at Doodle Tones' head.
Goes by Vigil.
Dude.
Pink Robot reaches out to Doodle Tones to kind of
So
interrogate them
stupid.
about what this whole thing was about. And Susie apparently found this information to be shocking, as she and many
Oh yeah, so dude, I wanted to play a clip of this, but like I didn't want to like tug away people's attention to her video so soon. But she literally does say this when she shows this screenshot of her saying, "Oh yeah, we remember Vigil's defensive V, so I'm not shocked by this." She, in her video, as she's showing this screenshot, she said she found it like surprising, or like her tone is like, apparently this happened, and you know this is like crazy. I'm like, you said you weren't shocked in this screenshot, but in the video, she says she is. My favorite sweatshirt. All I need to do is chuck more beer bottles at Doodle Timers. Yeah.
the other users just, you know, assumed Vigil at a random nondescript point in time stopped being friends with V
So dumb.
for some reason. Susie reaches out to Vigil to ask if he was still friends with V, and the DMs of this confrontation were included.
Pink relayed those concerns to me.
What did Charlie do? Charlie thinks that Hassan shocked his dog, which like, I mean, at the start, I was susceptible to believing that, yeah, the dog probably just yelled for no reason. I mean, like, yeah, it is weird that Hassan's like reaching out off screen to like touch something, and as he does that, Nala or whatever the fuck his dog's name is, yelps. But what convinced me, honestly, was Hassan showing the shock collar, because you could clearly see the electrical tape covering the bottom that covers the serial number and the ports where the shock prongs, where you insert the shock prongs. He clearly like taped over that. I'm like, okay, dude, come the fuck on. Seriously? Are you fucking serious, man? Like, that's what convinced me. No, yeah, he shocked his dog.
And Vigil myself, until Pink brought up a pretty cogent point.
See, what's funny is that Susie not only doesn't read out her
Kaya.
comment with Vigil, but she like quickly flashes these screenshots on screen as a means of feigning transparency, when every other screenshot has a significantly longer pause on it.
Inconclusive. Ultimately, we're never gonna know. Sure, it could have been coincidental. Like, and maybe he realized like, oh wait, this is technically a shock collar, but I didn't shock Nala during that stream. So like now I have to tape over the shock ports to hide up the fact that it is a shock collar or something.
What's the fucking rush, Susie?
Whatever.
The video is only 2 hours long. You're not going anywhere anytime soon. If we slow it down a little bit, we can read the message from Vigil that says the following. Not to be rude or anything.
Charlie didn't even say, yeah,
but
no. he
didn't
didn't.
you know I was already friends with V for a while?
But he implied it. He at least implied it. Charlie never said explicitly, but he did imply it.
down a little bit, we can read the message from Vigil that says the following. Not to be rude or anything, but didn't you know I was already friends with V for a while? I've been vocal about it. And heck, at some point, I told people to not have conversations about V because it made me uncomfortable. Even in the Cloud Palace as well. You all respected that. Why are you approaching me about this now?
Dude, the fact that this message got completely overlooked is just so like asinine to me. It's so fucking asinine to me, dude.
And you know how Susie responds? By not denying it at all and kindly letting Vigil know that Pink Robot was onto him. How generous. But it gets better!
Pink brought up a pretty cogent point. Why would you keep someone who openly associates with a known groomer in your
Dude, this
group?
part.
Well, when you word it like that.
When you word it like that.
Yeah.
Holy fucking
Oh my
shit. Eureka. We've discovered that it's actually bad to keep people like this around minors. Who would
Ian Watkins. I honestly don't even know what the fuck that guy did.
have thunk it? Doodles, realizing where this was probably going, went into self-preservation mode and suddenly decided to act like she didn't know if Vigil was friends with V, and faked this by asking him if they were still friends, to which the obvious was reiterated. Ah, but another interesting nugget from Doodle. So, would you mind talking about this in a VC? Because I don't want to just chuck you out.
Toddler rapist?
But if this
Okay, well,
is, in
good,
italics,
deserved.
is becoming a thing, we probably should discuss. Huh.
Jesus.
If this is going to become a thing. Very, very fucking odd verbiage. What followed afterwards was Vigil voluntarily leaving the server. Yes, he did not get kicked. He left of his own free will. Susie makes a post announcing what had happened, and that's when... Gulp. As it turns out, some people knew Vigil was friends with V the whole time!
Relayed what information I could to the rest of the palace, and that's when we learned that some people knew about this, and said nothing.
Dun, dun, dun. Crazy stuff. Yeah, I feel like I don't need to state how fucking stupid this whole thing is. It's made even more mind-boggling how nobody outside of this obvious sweep job clicked the pieces together and called this out. Then again, this is the ACC. Everyone is diabolically autistic.
Yes.
I just didn't realize? I don't know. I mean, like, you really need zero hindsight to come to this conclusion. I'm basing it entirely off of Susie's first video. Anyways, a couple of people get rounded up to get grilled by Doodle, Keaton, and Lyle Convoy, because of course he inserts himself into the situation.
Fucking sound
However,
effects.
I will say his involvement does make for an interesting conundrum for Doodle to handle. If Lyle got a whiff that she and everyone else on the server had known what was going on, it might actually cause some problems.
And I genuinely believe this. Like, for all of Lyle's faults, I think if he locked in and found out what she was trying to pull, he would have an issue with it. I genuinely do think he would have a fucking problem with it. Now, I don't know if it would have been a video. I don't know if that video would have ended Susie's career or whatever the fuck, but I feel like Lyle would like be like, okay, so why are we like witch hunting these people when all you motherfuckers know? Like, what? Why are you dragging me into this call to lecture and scream at these fucking people when you literally did the same fucking thing? Right? Like, I feel like Lyle would even like put the pause on that and be like, okay, what the fuck are we doing here?
Unfortunately, like I said, Lyle is a part of the ACC, thus is fucking retarded, and seemingly never bothered reading the logs between Peak Robot, Vigil, and Susie. He just blind—
Which I don't know why you wouldn't. I don't know why you wouldn't.
blindly took her word for it, all while having the loudest bravado in the call.
Look, I was just—
Hold on. I want to address something. If the only time you find your tongue is when a man is speaking to you, you got some issues to address. I told you you are going to respect Susie the same way you respect me. Find your tongue!
I will.
But it gets
Well,
even
what the
more
hell?
fucking stupid. In the call, one of the members being put on trial literally points out—
Has confused
that
us
not—
all. No, yeah, there are like in my final version of the video, I'm gonna have like minor like little edits in between the segments to like clarify certain things, because I did get something wrong in my FCK video, the FCK portion of the Doodle Tones video. I thought it was Nezzy Monster in that call with Doodle Tones with Laka. It wasn't Nezzy Monster. It was Ellie Momele. So I do need to correct that.
Not only to his knowledge, everyone in the server knew, but that he had told Susie about this information directly months prior to any of this shit. And you know how
Kara's
Susie
alter
responds?
ego, yeah.
And I was under the impression most people knew. The thing, though, is that I did tell people. The people that I did tell, though, have essentially told me that they just don't remember me saying it to them.
Who did you tell?
I told
Apparently I was one, but I didn't remember.
And Lyle just takes his word for it. No, I'm dead serious. He takes the guy's word for it, and nothing happens. No questions are asked to Susie, no tonal shift, not a fucking decibel. Edit, I spoke to Lyle.
I did. I think, did I talk about this? I did speak to Lio about this like a couple months ago.
About this since writing. So I want to be fair and at least give his reasons as to why he didn't do anything here. More or less, the point
Like
was
in an
to
actual
use
call.
the guy's own standards against him to point out why he was in the wrong to say nothing, regardless of whether or not what he said was true or not. However, I do still hold firm on the stance that Lyle completely fumbled here. The allegation was made that Susie had known for months, multiple times, and it just wasn't looked into at all. Which, I don't know about you, but that significantly changes the narrative being formed in these calls. There was zero actual interest in any resolution. It was a complete shit show.
But they did at least get one guy to crash out, so that was funny at least.
Yeah, you're remembering what I told you, didn't you? I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear impulsive. I want an apology.
Dude, I love this. I love this edit so fucking much. Hold on.
Remembering what I told you, didn't you? I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear impulsive. I want an apology from you.
I'm sorry, Ellie! I'm sorry I ever told you to kill yourself! Sorry for talking behind your back!
What had happened? Dude, it's like... I didn't think the music... Like, when I was thinking, like, I need some, like, epic anime music. So I thought, like, yeah, I'll do, like, the My Hero Academia thing. I had no idea, like, how well that shit would fit, dude. Dude, it fits so perfectly. Like, it's like... Oh my god. But after this call, it's really not that important. The follow-up 6-hour video was just content farming on the well-established moral crusade. Essentially, the takeaway of this situation is that this is a prime example of how Susie will lie and manipulate people to protect her own ass, even if it means... Do you think Doodles will rear her diaper fetish ass on YouTube? Not anytime soon. Especially considering her Dawn Told Stories alt account got outed. She's gonna wait another year to come back under a different fucking username and just do the same thing all over again. Sacrificing people. I don't think it's too risky. Like, I mean, Doodle Tones is a fucking retard. She might actually try to do commentary again, but I think it's less likely that she would do like commentary or drama, because people would pick up very quickly. It's like, oh wait, this is fucking Doodle Tones, dude. Like. And, like, that would just, like, reignite the whole fucking shit. But, I don't know. We'll see. She considered friends. I mean, these people were practically villainized overnight and chased out of the community. Granted, none of these people are saints. They all fucking suck in their own special way. But still, how fair is it when everyone else gets to walk? This was all because they were more honest about what they knew than others. And no, I'm not just talking about Doodle. Hayton also knew, and recently tried to deny this by saying she didn't read the thread where people were talking about Vigil and V that she had posted a reaction image in. It's honestly fucking despicable behavior from everyone involved. And to be clear, I don't Dude, Heaton's fucking excuse was so fucking stupid. Like, literally look at this. Didn't she block you because she found out you were still friends with V? And this is in reference to Vigil, and Heaton is reacting to an image right below referencing this. Like, and she literally, I cannot believe she thought like, well, I didn't read the literal message right above or the context of the conversation. I just reacted the clapping emoji for like no reason at all. Like, what the fuck? Dude, it's so stupid. Reaction image in. It's honestly fucking despicable behavior from everyone involved. And to be clear, I don't give a fuck that Doodles is a bad friend. That's not the criticism. Cosmodorium. The criticism is the blatant hypocrisy and attempt to cover up shady actions to avoid being hung by your own tabard. It's pathetic. If Jar actually makes a criticism video on her, Chris might forgive his sins. No. There is literally nothing Jar can do to be forgiven. I mean, he's lied so many fucking times about so many different situations that involve himself. Like, it's just like, there's no redemption. There's no redemption. Just stick to media reviews, dude. Pathetic slimeball shit. So, all of this happened sometime around 2023, right? She just what if I told you that not 2 years before this incident, Susie did something far worse than just be friends with an exposed child groomer, but actually had a year-long plan to smear the victims as liars and made them apologize to the pedophile that groomed them. Ooh, epic. I'm going to need to heavily edit my my segment on George Raccoon before I do the voiceover for it, because in certain areas it does come off as too preachy, and I want to avoid doing that. I just want to, because like it's gonna make, number one, it's gonna make the video much longer than it fucking needs to be, and number two, it's just like fucking useless, because like I don't need to tell and elaborate on why it's bad to smear victims of child predation as liars. I feel like I don't need to like harp on that point constantly. So like I do need to tweak it a little bit, but I think I saw a clip of that on Twitter. Wait, what? The pedo girl OC was fruit, made it fall from paradise. Oh. But after the George Raccoon segment, which is it might be the longest segment, because there are like quite a bit of clips and things to get through with that. After that, it's like I'm going to have like an addendum section where it's like all the most recent stuff that can't really fit in its own segment, like the Archipelagos shit, Doodle Tone's DeviantArt. Okay, you know, me discovering that, oh wait, she's like liking lolicon. She's like she's liking imminent lolly rape on her fucking alt DeviantArt account recently this year. And what else? I don't have this written just yet, so I'm going to have to like write that in. But Juniru, in regards to Juniru and V Omega, Susie actively participated in the grooming of Junie. That happened. Juniru showed that in her video. That happened. And not only that, not only was she encouraging the grooming and participating in the grooming of Junie, not only did she know the whole fucking time, obviously because she participated in it, but fuck, wasn't there something else in regards to V? I think there was something else in regards to V that I want to talk about. And not really. I mean, like it just makes everything with like Cloak and Dagger, FCK, it makes all of this like infinitely more fucking ironic. Like her involvement. What the fuck? Dude, oh my god, hold on 1 second. Jesus Christ, what? Okay, well, bruh. Okay, pyrocynical video.
This young lad's inbox with a bunch of deranged furry
and at the same time claiming that this is absolutely no basis in reality.
I forgot about I forgot about the literal TF2 pyro bullshit, dude.
Absolutely has to own up to this. It was just a negligent abuse of power.
That shows that Pyro is well aware that what he's doing is not good.
When I was 19 and 20, I liked to take part in this degenerate furry roleplay with pretty much anyone that would reciprocate. In retrospect, I never should have continued the furry stuff with him once I learned his age.
Like, oh, dude, that clip. Dude, this fucking clip. Dude, hearing, like, looking at the cope of... Dude, like, Pyro's fans are just, like, such delusional. They remind me so much of creepypasta fans. They remind me so much of that. It's like, dude, how the fuck are you, like, so bought into the Kool-Aid? Like, he quite literally says this.
I would reciprocate. In retrospect, I never should have continued the furry stuff with him once I learned his age.
Like, and that's just overlooked. That's just overlooked. Completely overlooked. Like, I'm just losing my fucking mind at that comment.
Keem is now trying to spread even more bullshit.
Oh, you wonder what Pyro's response will be? Guess what it will be? Fucking nothing. He'll just ignore this. It'll blow over, and that's what's going to happen. Okay. Now, well, hold on. There is a chance. Now, it's not going to happen with Parlo. Somebody else has to make this fucking video because Parlo is a fucking mess. But I mean, so far this video really honestly isn't doing that well. Like 10 hours ago and it's only 3,000 views. I don't know. Like if you really want to force Pyro into addressing this, you have to get someone like Moist Critical. Like it sounds so fucking, it sounds like, oh, it's like the Mama Max thing all over again. But honestly, getting significantly larger YouTubers to talk about this shit is how you make people like this address it. That's how it happens. Right. And so far this video just isn't doing the views to like warrant that.
Saying that I'm dating underage girls.
In 2016, Keemstar released a fateful video about a 14-year-old French girl. This coverage became a huge meme within the commentary community as he was unable to get his facts straight. The messages he showed involved Pyro's short relationship with a 14-
Either Muda or Charlie. No, Muda has completely like fucking ruined his reputation. Like no one can take him seriously. No one can take Mudahar seriously, dude. Like that guy's a complete fucking clown. Should not be touching drama like ever again. Never again, dude. Said the thing all pedos admit. What do you mean? But I do think Charlie, like Moist Critical, if someone like Critical makes a video, like that can actually do fucking damage. Initial thoughts when Pyro's situations first arose. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe Niall. I wanted to believe Pyro. Because I liked his videos. I liked him more than I liked Leafy. So it was like kind of like a, I mean, I was like super parasocial at the time, but it was like a punch to the chest. I'm like, oh my God, like this guy's a fucking freak. Like watching Tom's video get torn to shreds when he like proved 99% of the fucking bullshit that he was accusing Pyro of. Dude, and like just I felt like I was losing my fucking mind, bro. Yeah, no. When this Pyro shit first came out, like I wasn't the first to jump ship, but it's like after watching Tom's video, I'm like, dude, this guy's fucked. This guy's cooked. Like actually. Took his response at face value like a fucking dumbass. Yeah. I mean, to some extent you can't I mean, here's the thing. Like most people when they hear about like someone that they like got exposed for something, you should want to know of the allegations, but like most people don't, right? And I don't know if that's like a fault of like you as an individual or just a fault as like society and culture or whatever the fuck, or like learning like media literacy or whatever the fuck, you know, like no one's inclined to like go and look and see and find the truth for themselves. They're just more or less like inclined to take people's word for it. Like if you already like someone, you are psychologically primed to already kind of take their word for it on most things, right? But still, that's not an excuse, right? That's not an excuse. But it's like you can't get mad at those people. What you can do is get mad at the people who are shown the evidence and still decide to dig their fucking heels. That's when you start being more in the wrong, more significantly in the wrong than like the average person. It's like when you're shown the evidence and you just fucking ignore it. Like that's when it's like becomes bad. Felt the same way about Minilad. I didn't really care for Minilad too much. I was like I'm more so in terms of like the Vanoss crew. I like Terrorizer more. But,
16-year-old girl and his willingness to wait until she turned 16, seeing no problem with this behavior. 4 years later, Pyro was accused of grooming by Ivory Ramses. The allegations consisted of degenerate fat furry DMs and other conversations we will get into later. The point is, Pyro was talking to a 16-year-old for over a year, knowing their age. Unfortunately, this situation snowballed into massive amounts of misinformation.
Dude, and then Diesel Patches, bro, I didn't even fucking realize that when I was reading Parlo's document. Like, dude, yeah, Diesel Patches completely fumbled it because I think, wasn't it at the start, he like blindly took Pyro's word for it and like echoed that shit out and like made up some, wait, no. Fuck, I'm trying to remember. Did he, no, like Diesel Patches like literally admitted to like just making shit up and like putting that in his video. I was like, what? Why? Dude, oh my God.
Information being spread. Pyro used this to his advantage.
And I was just gonna say that.
And bolstered his response video. History favored him, and by
any of his girlfriend knew Ivory's age, yeah. But to be fair, I mean, there is an argument to be had that like they weren't dating at the time, like Pyro and his girlfriend, I forgot her name, dude, weren't dating at the time. But like, I highly doubt that you weren't in contact with them and you weren't talking about Ivory. You were in a group chat with them. It was both Pyro, Ivory, and his girlfriend or soon-to-be girlfriend. Like, I highly doubt that you did not mention that he was younger sooner. But either way, in the DMs, Pyro literally admits that at some point he found out Ivory's age and still kept doing the furry roleplay bullshit with him. It's like that's dead to rights. You're done. You're completely cooked.
Now, Pyrocynical is seen as a degenerate furry, but not much else. What if I told you that's what he wants you to think? As we take off the mask, there's a much more sinister story to tell. This is what we will be delving into in this video. This is the Pyrocynical Files. Before we start, there's something I want to get out of the way. Because of the rampant misinformation swimming around situations involving Pyro, it's important to verify what is true and swat down what isn't. At some points in this video, I will be verifying seemingly obvious details and information in pursuit of this goal. Let's rewind to 2016, a year full of content that isn't as good as you remember looking back. Leafy, Keemstar, Colossal is Crazy, iDubbbz, and of course, Pyrocynical. I won't bore you with his rise to fame for the sake of ad revenue, but it is important to note Pyro's relevance events in the commentary community at this time. This led to beefing with Keemstar, causing these allegations to first come to light. Specifically, Pyro's short-lived relationship with a 14-year-old French girl who he wanted to wait for it to turn the age of consent. He managed to weasel his way out of these
So fucking crazy, man. Like, I could imagine being like in your early 20s, like you're like 20 years old and you're waiting for like a 17-year-old to turn 18 because you don't want it to be like seen as weird or some shit. Like I could maybe see that. Like it's not weird, but like I could see you being like, well, it's technically a minor or whatever the fuck, and you don't want to be seen as like weirdo. But Pyro was like 22 or some shit, was he not? He was like 21. Wait, no. He was like no, he was 19. But the French girl was 14. So it's like, what the... And the age of consent he's referring to was like 16. So it's like, okay, well, that's not much better.
Allegations through memeing Keemstar's repeated inconsistency concerning them. On March 22nd, 2016, Keemstar DM'd Pyro Cynical asking about the French girl, to which...
Dude, also, no, yeah, you mentioned that. Like, yeah, the French girl is like the One Piece. Dude, I was so convinced that the French girl shit was like just so bullshit because Pyro's video breaking down Keemstar's allegations, because Keemstar wasn't getting the facts straight. He completely fumbled the whole fucking thing. He kept changing the fucking age, and Pyro took that and ran for the fucking hills. And it just made sense because like not only was Keemstar seen as a villain at the time, for rightfully so, he was getting stories wrong. He falsely accused a RuneScape guy of being a fucking pedophile. He got that shit completely wrong, blasted that fucking story without dotting his I's and crossing his T's, and that guy nearly got his fucking life ruined. You know, had it not had been for like other people to like uncover the truth, right? And to find out that the French girl was actually real is just like, oh shit. Like, okay, well, what else is true? You know, like I feel like finding out the French girl probably woke a lot of people up to like being like, whoa, well, if that's true, then what the fuck else is true, right? Like maybe there is something more to the Ivory stuff, or maybe there is a pattern. And lo and behold, even in Parlo's document, you know, for as repetitive and faulty as it is, he like there is a pattern, or at least was a pattern at the time, of Niall just not giving a fuck about the age and just recklessly reaching out to anybody, whoever was willing to talk to him, which were mostly minors because of the communities he was in, and sexually engaging with them. Like, it's fucking insane. Pyro was friends with a 14-year-old French girl's rapist. Yeah, ancient reality. That whole Pyro staying silent on that is also, I would say Pyro staying silent about the ancient reality shit is like actually worse. I would say it's worse than like the shit with Ivory, or even as a whole, because you knew like ancient reality was like 24, and this French girl, she was like 15 at the time. It's like you said nothing. You said fucking nothing. Are you serious? You didn't try to like stop that relationship from happening? Like, dude, are you fucking serious?
Pyro denies the allegations. A while later, Pyro posts a rant against Keemstar, lambasting his coverage
Keemstar and Tobuscus. Why the fuck was Tobuscus involved, dude?
of the popular creator Tobuscus's rape allegations. Compared to how tense things would later get, this video was fairly lighthearted, with fair criticism sprinkled throughout it. In response, however, Keemstar dropped multiple Twitter videos, including the infamous "I have files on top of files" clip. He directly threatened to leak the allegations over being criticized, already painting himself to be motivated by emotion and potentially,
which, yeah, like, dude, fucking Keemstar, bro, like gave Pyro so much fucking legway.
Unreliable. Unfortunately, Keemstar made it even worse though, repeatedly flipping the ages of the French girl, unable to be consistent with the allegations, making them seem even more flimsy and potentially even fake. In response, Pyro drops my experience with Keemstar, harping on his inconsistencies and claiming the entire story to be bullshit.
This story is total bullshit. I know exactly the three individuals.
Dude, and he's saying this, dude, it's like, oh my god, dude, it's like the creepypasta shit. It's like he's saying this knowing that it's true. He's saying this and knowing that it's true. Oh my god, that fucking fact drives me crazy.
Jules, who told Keem and even got in a Skype group chat with him. Unfortunately, I can't name these twats because that's exactly what they want, attention. But in case you don't believe me, I have a DM conversation between one of the individual's ex-girlfriends who's shown that he actually has no idea what he's talking about and he's literally just made—
Bro, I took that vid. Well, you could only do, well, to be fair, it was against Keemstar. Keemstar is a fucking complete retard, okay? Like, and he constantly got stories wrong at the time, or well, constantly. I really only know of like 2 situations, right? But he had a reputation of just like fudging shit and like completely switching the ages. I mean, like you can only come to the conclusion that Keemstar is just bullshitting at that time, right? Like everything pointed to Keemstar bullshitting. So it's like, because Keem wasn't even willing to supply the evidence. Keemstar's interview with the French girl came out in like 2020. All of this shit happened in 2017, dude. Some people forget that. All this shit happened like 2017, 2016. The Keemstar's interview with the French girl came out in like 2020. Like,
stuff up
bro.
To spite me.
2 days later, Keemstar posted DMs between Pyro and the French girl on Twitter. Pyro tweeted out, "I see no problem waiting."
Oh wait, no, that did happen. Wait, what? I didn't even know that.
For somebody to reach the age of consent, as if not understanding the prior relationship makes.
Wait, what? I see no problem waiting for some. So he just straight up. No fucking way, bro. No fucking way. No way. He straight up admitted it just publicly. Like, it still doesn't justify you. So no, he straight up admits the French girl is kind of real here. And this was after his video saying it was complete bullshit, dude.
I've been waiting for somebody to.
And nobody caught this? I didn't even know this tweet existed.
To reach the age of consent, as if not understanding the prior relationship makes this very wrong. He then flees to a subreddit, a hug box obviously blindly supporting him, for his full response, where he passively admits the DMs are real, despite admitting their validity.
Dude, that's so crazy, because I mean, I wasn't a part of his subreddit at the time. I don't even think I had Reddit at the time of this fucking bullshit. But, God, that's so insane.
Pyro simultaneously denies they were ever dating, even though,
like, he just flat out just admits that, yeah, the French girl is actually real. It's like, and nobody said anything about it. Why? That's so fucking crazy. Was a walking L at the time. He had no credibility, yeah. And Ethan Klein tried to deplatform Pyro, so the internet sided with Pyro by default, yeah.
the DMs prove.
I still don't have Reddit. Reddit can be useful for like I like the schizophrenic shit about UFO stuff that gets posted there.
Pyro also claimed she was 15, despite Lou's insistence, and proof from publicly accessible posts at the time that she was 14. The relationship itself.
Well, to be fair, I don't. Was she 14 and just about to turn 15, or did she just turn 14? I think I mean, quibbling over the detail, it honestly doesn't matter. 14, 15. Pyro was 19 at the time. That's still fucking like weird as fuck, or like not even weird. It's like actually like that's like a 4-year plus age gap. Like, dude, you're fucking, what the fuck are you doing?
Lasted 2 weeks and ended in 2015. It is reasonable to assume Pyro knew that Lou was 14, giving her saying it publicly multiple times on Twitter and being well known amongst large creators. This time, Pyro doesn't have the excuse of the Twitter suspension, something I will touch on later. Further, Lou maintained her age as 14 later in her interview with Keemstar.
Wait, what is this background footage? What is this from?
Further, Lou maintained her age as 14 later in her interview with Keemstar.
Hold up. Nothing crazy show up, please. I'm kind of curious for a second. Or no, it would probably be on his Pyro live channel. Wait. The server blight? Of course this fucking guy's like... Dude, okay. You're so fucking funny. Dude, he's kind of killing it. Oh my god, this guy's like million views. His channel is Pyro Live, right? Well, no. This looks like a ranting video. Did he like address shit or no? No. Okay.
So I met Pyro back in 2015 when I was 14 years old.
To avoid accountability.
And he was 18.
Dude, I'm gonna keep saying this over and over and over again. This is like almost like 1-to-1, almost exactly like the fucking creepypasta stuff. Although I will say Creeps is worse than Pyro because Creeps actively pursued and hunted down minors in the community. He is like definitionally a child predator. This guy like sought out minors in the creepypasta community.
years old.
But I cannot stop seeing the fucking comparisons, and I'm like, every time I think about it, I'm like, I'm so mad. I fucked my video. I'm so mad. And it's not gonna be. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again in the future. Okay, not anytime soon, because I'm obviously working on the Doodle Tones video, and I have other ideas for big videos too as well. But I will make another creepypasta video, and hopefully that'll be at like my peak. You know, when I'm like cool at editing and I'm swag and I'm all like fucking networked and shit.
I guess we'll have known each other for like a few months before this happened.
Yep, he met up with them on IRL.
Maybe.
But also, I want to clarify on that too, just in case anybody's like any VOD watchers. I don't know, and I can't prove that anything like nefarious or sexual happened at those IRL meets. But I mean, like, he like heavily alludes to it like multiple times in different like Facebook posts. So make of that what you will.
A little bit flirting, saying
it's in my video. Just don't watch the old version. Watch the recent version.
That, well, we like each other's personalities, and he appreciates what I do for him, and I appreciate his company.
You know, he said that, like, you know, he never dated you, like that you weren't his girlfriend. But were you boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah, we were.
In the sense of like e-dating, right? Because you never met each other in real life, but you were e-dating online.
Exactly.
Looking back at the DM leak, these screenshots also show the two arguing over the reason for breaking up, with the French girl alleging he did it because he did not want to be seen as a pyro.
The fact that that's how you end a relationship, like you say that and you just sound like a pedophile. Like when you say that, you just sound like a fucking pedophile, bro.
Argued against this, but it is understandable.
You followed Shadman? Yeah, I don't recall. I mean, in Parlo's doc, I don't recall him doing anything too crazy. He commented under a couple of Shad's post, and that was after Shad's controversies, so there was no excuse that Pyro didn't know that Shad was a freak. Shad was well known for being a freak, pedophile, so it's like that is suspicious, but it's like that's all that his relation was.
Why she brings up this point, given Pyro was 18 at this time of his short-lived relationship with this
I thought he was 19, okay.
14-year-old. One of the most important takeaways from the French girl situation is that—
hold on, what's this? Slime Beast? Wait, when the fuck was this uploaded? Oh, of last year? Oh, no. Oh, that Creeps followed. Yeah, I know Creeps followed Chadman. Yeah.
Pyro will only admit to points against him when they have already been proven, and will downplay, obfuscate, and lie about the details surrounding his involvement. This will
just like Creeps
only continue to be shown as the video goes on. After dodging such a bullet though with these allegations, you think Pyro would ask for people's ages before he engages in sexual or romantic conversations?
That's true. I didn't even fucking realize that. You would think after the French girl shit, he would be like more cautious about asking of people's ages and shit like that. Because that was the whole reason for him breaking up, was that he didn't want to be seen as a pedophile. So you would think he would ask for people's ages before sexually engaging with them, but he didn't. He didn't. And even at points, he knew people's ages and still asked them to draw like fetish art for him.
With him. But not even a month later, he begins talking to Ivory.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
As I said in the intro, in 2020, Pyro got accused of grooming by Ivory Ramses. Ivory showed egregious messages between the two when he was 15 and Pyro was 19, continuing on to even when Ivory was 16 and Pyro was 20. They met in Solid Tribe's Discord server, an ex-YouTuber with over 10,000 subscribers Ivory was apparently friends with. It was allegedly—
I mean, I will say Parlo's doc is like nauseously thorough. I will say, like, if you want to make a Pyrocynical video, I would highly recommend going over Parlo's doc. It's long as fuck, but Parlo goes over everything. Now, you in some cases you shouldn't be taking Parlo's word for it because he does word it in ways where it's just like, okay, that's not my read of the situation. You know, you kind of have to, you kind of are speculating here, and I feel like if you're speculating, you got to kind of have to call attention to that. Like, hey, I'm speculating, FYI. You know, at least, like, I don't think it's inherently wrong to speculate when it comes to allegations, but like, you have to specify. I feel like you have to make a good faith effort to like specify, hey, by the way, speculation. I don't know if this is true. At least call attention to that. Which Parlo doesn't do that, which I think is like fucking stupid of him not to do. But either way, no, yeah, Parlo's document is like very thorough, and he goes over fucking everything.
On an 18+ Discord server, but this is untrue. Corroborated by
Pyro's a pedophile. Oh, dude, here's the thing, man. Like, I wanna avoid being so loose about that word, because I do find myself sometimes, I'm like, fuck you, you're a pedophile. You know, sometimes I do find myself doing that. I need to not fucking do that. Pyro is a pedophile. I think it's important to be like exceptionally good faith, because like if you're being bad faith or you're kind of jumping the gun a little bit, Pyro's gonna take that and run with it every fucking time. Like, so if the narrative is that, well, Pyro's not a pedophile, but he didn't give a fuck about people's ages. Ages were made clear to him at multiple points, and he continued talking sexually with these children. So make of that what you will, right? Like, I think that's a better approach to the situation than just saying like Pyrocynical's a pedophile, you know? Like, I don't blame anybody for thinking he's a pedophile, but like, just like, I think she should probably be more like maybe he's not a pedophile, but this is what he did, and we could prove that. You know, he did. You know, you don't have to call him a pedophile. You just have to point out what he did and let people come to their own conclusions.
like Discord,
or at least that's the content creator fucking brain going. It's just like, well, I want to be like exceptionally good faith, because like my voice does have like, as small and as fucking like unimportant as it is, like I do kind of want to be consistent.
Pyro himself never even attempted to make this claim, showing its absurdity, and Solid Shibe, the owner of the server, was 15 at this time. Back then, Pyro's Discord username was lol, verified by the message logs. On November 10th, 2016, Pyro and Ivory first began—
This is career ending? It's less so the allegations themselves, and it's more so the lying. That's what's career ruining in my eyes. It's like, oh, you're fucking lying. You're lying, you're misdirecting, and you're manipulating and gaslighting your fucking audience. Like, that tells me is like, there might be something more to that. There might be something more. Might be speculation. There might be. But the fact that you can't just come clean and like, because if Pyro, if instead of like all the lying and manipulation he's done over the fucking years, if when these allegations came out, he just straight up said, when I was 19 and 18, I was completely fucking reckless. I didn't care. I didn't really care about the ages at the time and stuff like that. And you know, I shouldn't have pursued, I shouldn't have been like reckless and pursued minors in that sort of way, you know, like, or something like worded it in a way where it's like, you're being honest and you're not downplaying what you did, and just like being honest from the fucking jump. This would not like, this would have hit Pyro hard, but like he would still have like at least some, like, it's like, okay, I don't know if I could call him a pedophile, but you know, at least he's not like that anymore. And it seems to be the case that there isn't really any evidence that he's continuing to do this, right? So that more so adds to the claim that like this was just like reckless behavior, because if Pyro was a pedophile, he would still be doing this shit, and there's just not any evidence that he's doing it as of recent. A lot of this stuff is nearly like fucking 10 years ago. But the fact that he's like lying and trying to cover up and that's what makes it so fucking damning in my eyes.
And DMing. It started innocently enough when Ivory linked his YouTube channel. The next day, he sang about E-Fame in a server call jokingly. This would be used against Ivory to claim he was making these allegations for clout, but as I just explained, it was very clearly a joke. I'll let you see for yourself.
Well, even if it was, even if it was for like fame, how does that change what happened between him and Pyro? That nothing. It changes nothing. Ivory could be like, hey, I'm blasting these allegations because I am actually spiteful and I want fame and clout and attention. Fuck Pyrocynical. That does not change what had happened between them. Nothing. It changes nothing. It changes literally nothing.
Following this call, unfortunately, the degenerate DMs would quickly multiply.
Damn.
As I talk about the DMs, I will show the most relevant to the situation that are included in the document. However, if you want to see them all unedited, there is a screen recording of the conversations on YouTube. I will link in the description. These DMs display a multitude of—
Wait, straight up? Aren't some of those like pornographic? Wait, no. Well, to be fair, like some of them are just like the furries are so fat you can't even see their genitals. So it's like, okay.
topics exchanged between the two. They talked about how nice the furry characters looked.
That would have been, yeah, he would have been in a better position. It's like, yeah, Pyro's kind of a freak, but like, you know, that was when he was like a young adult. And he doesn't do that shit anymore. And he learned from, you know, he quickly learned that it's like, hey, I'm an adult now. I shouldn't be like so reckless online with minors. And I would have been like, yeah, that's fair enough as long as he's not doing that shit anymore. You know, but dude, again, the fucking lying, bro. That's the fucking part. That's the part that always irks me. That's the part that irks me with doodle tones, and that's the part that irks me about fucking creeps. It's like, you are fucking lying. You're lying. Why the fuck are you lying?
To explicit detail about their passions towards the furry characters. They sent one another furry content.
I mean, I know why. Well, the easiest explanation is like, oh, because it's embarrassing. It's like, okay, well, embarrassing versus like lying about potentially grooming accusations. Like, wouldn't you rather just be honest about that? If it's not grooming and you had no legitimate sexual intent with this person, it would do nothing but benefit you to be honest. It would incredibly hurt you to just lie.
Ranging from cringe to obscene. These messages began when Ivory was 15 and continued until he was 17. It is important to note Ivory never explicitly told Pyro his age when they first began their exchanges. However, Pyro never asked. There is a lot of circumstantial evidence suggesting Pyro—
Wait, Pyro I've never asked what?
It is important to note Ivory never explicitly told Pyro his age when they first began their exchanges.
But Pyro admitted to finding out.
However, Pyro never asked. There is a lot of circumstantial evidence suggesting Pyro knew Ivory's age, and we'll get into those later. Regardless, it is not enough to make a definitive conclusion, as more up into interpretation as to whether he knew. That being said, Ivory did link Pyro's Twitter when he was 16, with Pyro being 20. After this, the degenerate behavior continued without pause. I'm now going to delve more specifically into the timeline.
Well, it's just you don't even need to like leave it up to be like, oh, we don't even know if Pyro in his video, he literally says he eventually, now we don't know when, he eventually found out Ivory's age and continued the role playing. He continued that shit. He continued that activity past knowing the fucking age. He admitted that. That's all that you need. That's all that you need.
From the start. Going back to 2016, when Ivory was 15, the two started conversating more frequently. After sharing music, Pyro later on asked if Ivory had Skype, with him sharing the information to get in touch there. Pyro sends a interesting image of a furry with Ivory—
I mean, that's kind of normal.
Captioning it thick. They discuss calling, but it never pans through. And then the first of many furry inflation chart is sent.
Dude, I don't know if the internet like just completely like melted my brain, but like I don't find this shit disgusting. I find it fucking funny as fuck. like just the idea of like, yeah, I get rock hard to being inflated like a balloon. Like, I find it more fucking funny than like
spiraling the conversation into sending furry content ranging from strange to disturbing and lewd. Pyro again presses calling, saying, I can call in 10 minutes if you want, N-word. March 11, 2017, they have their first Discord call for over an hour. Yeah. Pyro and Ivory would fantasize over their in the conversations, gauging sexually over their sonas, and Pyro ending it with, I'm gonna bust a nut. At some point into their conversations, Pyro and Ivory—
Dude, even if that was a joke, bro, it's just like, Dog, come
Ivory
on.
said, I love you. And Ivory consistently called Pyro BB, with Pyro affectionately referring to him as Plump Boy. Flirting was almost constant around this time. All the while, Ivory continuously
definitely flirting.
Mentions about being in school. Pyro should have seen this as a red flag, but instead, he continued their exchanges. Continuing on, Pyro says, I love how you keep saying ooh woo haha, and calls Ivory a scaly boy XOXO, with Ivory replying okay XOXO. Things move on with Ivory describing the ending to a game he was playing, saying it made him tear up, with Pyro responding, my poor baby. On April 5th,
Oh God, bro.
2017, Pyro and Ivory would have a conversation about video games. Pyro states, you got Dark Souls
3
with
base?
Ivory saying they don't have it, but they will buy it.
Well, he plays Dark Souls 3? Never mind. This guy's not a pedophile. Completely innocent. Base. I stands Pyros, bruh.
Soon. Pyro then stated, I'll game with ya. They played together as shown by Ivory's screenshot, which was put on Twitter by Pyro's request. Although this might seem like a superfluous detail, it is very important, as Pyro would claim in his response video, he was not accessing Twitter during this period, when he clearly was, as he linked Ivory's tweet.
This is something I said in my original Reddit statement. He never once disclosed the fact that he was 15 at the time these exchanges commenced. He didn't include his age in his bio until he was 16, but I was not on Twitter between the 28th of December 2016 until the 29th of June 2017, as I was suspended.
It became so close that Pyro knew Ivory's real name and called him odd pet names like Child.
Dude, come on, bro.
My small boy, plump boy, and
small boy, child, plump boy, dude. These are quite the age specific nicknames for you to not know the fucking age of this person.
Daddy. More furry porn is sent between the two following this, with Pyro exclaiming, I could nut to that, to be honest. And they engaged in sexting via talking about their sonas and engaging in the roleplay. Towards the end of this.
And here's another thing that kind of makes it inexcusable. Dude, Pyro, there are 18 plus verified furry NSFW discords you can go to and just do that. Why the fuck are you like meeting people in like commentary YouTuber discords of ran by 15-year-olds? Like, how does that not like click in your brain? It's like, wait, this is kind of retarded. I shouldn't be doing this actually. Dude.
This exchange, Pyro talks about how he has always had an attraction to plump boys and such, which is strange given
that means me, guys.
He is referring to Ivory as plump boy multiple times. Pyro goes to bed after with Ivory saying he was fine with everything last night, but wasn't sure if he was. And Pyro
wait, what the fuck is that in reference to?
Responding that after with Ivory saying he was fine with everything.
No, I'm sorry about that. A Krumar. What? Dude, these are so fucking weird. Yeah, haha. Nah, mate, I was generally fine with everything last night, but I wasn't sure if you were. Nah, I was. My kinks are fucked up. Did they jerk off on a fucking VC? I didn't even know that.
Everything last night, but wasn't sure if he was. And Pyro responding that he was, but my kinks are just fucked up. As this goes on, Ivory shares that he has to go to school in about
Krumar. Okay, Krumar is a
hour. As we go through the rest of the DMs, unfortunately something will be missing. Pyro's side of the conversation. This is because Pyro eventually deleted his side sometime.
Dude, you're so
after being given the means to do so by user Thaf9 in 2018. The first time he discussed deleting DMs was actually earlier with Ivory himself, when discussing someone who leaked Pyro's old Skype. Ivory also talks about deleting Ivory himself.
So I thought I sent you in case you didn't know. Wait, Niall, I can't delete the DMs without manually going through, and you have to delete your messages too. Okay, so to be fair, it wasn't Pyro's idea, it was fucking Ivory's.
When discussing someone who leaked Pyro's old Skype, Ivory also talks about deleting DMs on his side, but appears to have kept them instead. He talked about deleting DMs for a second time before he learned how to do so from Thaf9.
Just what Alex was saying to me today about Kim, it reminded me of all the RP stuff I used to do last year. There was like so many fucking people I did it with. It's unreal. See, this is the thing where it's like, I don't think he's a pedophile. I think he's just like such a complete fucking sex obsessed freak at this point in time, where it's just like, he just did not fucking give a shit about the age. Right? Like, I'm sure he did NSFW RPs with people that were above the age of 18, but no one talks about them because it's boring. if any of them suddenly didn't like my content for whatever reason, they could just out me and then everyone else starts coming forward. I mean, the way that's worded makes it sound like you know that these people are underage. Because like, who would give a shit? I mean, like, to be 2018. I mean, Pyro. I could reasonably see like maybe Pyro at the time thought that like, oh, if it came out like people think I'm a furry because I irony poisoned the entire thing. But if they actually found out I was a furry, I might lose everything. Like maybe he was scared of that happening, and maybe that's what he's referring to. But dude. I was contemplating deleting my Discord and making a new one, but I don't think it deletes all messages, so it's still there. I didn't even ask for news or anything like that. It was just furry shit, but yeah, it happened, and it was just a ticking time bomb. Every morning I wake up with anxiety and check my phone, waiting for someone to message me saying, yo, you have seen what Keem tweeted. It's going to happen one day, and I feel fucking helpless. That's why I'm so quiet in calls and stuff. Just fucking oh my god, it's like you know you're fucked. Dude, it's like the way he's saying this, like he knows he's fucked. He knows he's fucked. He knows he's doing wrong shit. Oh god. That does make it worse. I didn't even realize that. It's like he knows he's fucked. He knows he's doing this. He knows he shouldn't be doing this, but he keeps going. Why does it keep going?
January 15th, 2018, when he crashed out fearing his furry fetish would be exposed. In his crash out, he mentions Keemstar and his worries of others leaking DMs. He also mentions he never asked for news or anything like that. In contact to his response, this is strange, considering he said he saw no issue because Ivory was 16.
To be fair, those messages were written in 2017, and his response was like fucking like, what, like 2021 or some fucking shit. Like, okay, his mind probably changed. Like at this point he's probably like, dude, I don't give a shit about like people finding out I'm a fat fur. Okay, like I'm more concerned about addressing the grooming allegations.
Age of consent in his country and every state. To me, this reads as Pyro worrying about Keem leaking a conversation he had with another minor outside of the French girl. He still messaged.
That's how it sounds, bro. That's how it sounds.
Ivory discussing sexual topics in August, and Ivory messaged him about the thick message in 2019. Ivory talked about the person that leaked Pyro's old Skype, Sleepy, a year prior as well, talking about turning on two-factor authentication and potentially deleting DMs. I think he was afraid of Sleepy leaking their logs after he allegedly leaked Pyro's old Skype. In both cases, Pyro was worried about his DMs being leaked, once explicitly with Ivory, and once in the second instance, as they were still confirmed to be messaging past the top 9 DMs. Pyro's excuse for deleting the DMs is complete bullshit. If he cared so much about his fetish getting leaked, he would have wiped the logs completely.
That's true. That's true. It's if you were no, that actually is so fucking no. He would have deleted the furry shit, but instead he deleted particular conversations about specific things, right? So no, yeah, now that you mentioned that, no.
Opinion giving the evidence provided. Pyro deleted the evidence to make himself look better. As for what he kept, there's no explicit evidence proving he knew Ivory was 15 at that point. I think when Pyro said it,
maybe he deleted that. Maybe he deleted that.
Takes one person to create a chain reaction. He was
very
referring
soft,
to Ivory, worrying that if he came out about his experience, others he shared degenerate DMs with would also come forward. In May of 2017, there were talks of Ivory and Pyro hanging out IRL. Ivory talks about the potential need to make a fake ID or sneak into the event.
Dude, and this is like, bro, like, why would you need to create a fake ID if you were of age?
As I think I looked that age. Pyro said this was in reference to a copy and paste invitation that was sent around for a UK meetup. And says this explanation about the fake is only for getting past the doorman outside bars. This is concerning because Pyro claims that he only found out about Ivory's age when he linked his Twitter bio, but this example shows Ivory clearly implying he is a minor, given the UK's legal drinking age being 18. This should be a red flag for Pyro, but instead, 2 days later, Ivory is right back to talking how they usually do in their sexual furry conversations, even though Pyro likely knew.
Dude, and this is after he was like fucking having a mini panic attack about being exposed. Like, why would you continue? Why would you continue?
He was underage. The day before Ivory linked his Twitter profile on July 4th, 2017.
And you can see like Ivory isn't just sending these messages like in sequence. Like he's talking with Pyro. He's conversing with Pyro. Pyro is deleting his fucking responses here.
He knew he was underage. The day before Ivory linked his Twitter profile on July 4th, 2017, Ivory talks about his IRL sex life. These DMs show their conversations were not just furry fetish garbage, as he tries to aggressively assert in his response video.
It was just purely fantasy garbage. It was roleplay after all. You're just pretending.
Okay. I didn't even know Ivory talked about his like IRL shit. No, it wasn't just roleplay, bro.
I didn't consider the age gap significant enough because what we were talking about and doing was so far removed from actual sex. It literally was just
that's retarded. That's retarded. As if grooming can't happen. As if grooming is only grooming when you rape the child. Like, are you fucking stupid? Dude,
fantasy furry garbage because I didn't consider Ivory sexual in any way in person. But
you talked about huffing in his farts.
This never escalated from two morons talking about inhaling furry farts. I'm straight.
Lol. That's so funny, guys. Remember and think that is funny and not like that's his fetish and that's what gets him off. And he's talking to a kid about his fetishes.
IRL, like, I have no interest in guys. This is just purely...
Okay, well, that's the most obvious lie I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Like a weird fantasy, and it does not carry over.
A weird fantasy, you know, it's not gay, okay? He has sex with men and relationships with women. It's not gay, though.
Real world whatsoever.
They talk about IRL sexual situations with Pyro potentially engaging in the conversation. From the school messages, to them being on call, the ID situation, to even knowing their real name. Pyro should have reasonably known Ivory was underage, yet he claims not to have. Pyro also lied in his response, saying he was not on Twitter between December 28th, 2016 and June 29th of 2017, as he was suspended. However, Pyro linked a tweet from Ivory on April 4th of 2017. There were multiple tweets of Ivory stating his age before this tweet was sent, at least 8 of them. This all occurred when Ivory was only 15. Pyro references specific tweets multiple times on his YouTube channel when he was supposedly not on it. Namely, how to grow your YouTube channel on May 1st, 2017.
The only tweet I could find that had any relevance. Guys, I go for a few days on Holy Day, so I can't upload. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think, can you see stuff in the background that might indicate that he has an account?
Have a nice day, guys. That was his last tweet, so I can only make out that he went to heaven. All the views just crushed him. When he opened that paycheck that YouTube gave him, he was suffocated in money.
And why left BuzzFeed on May 7th, 2017.
Stop. Hello, creature. How are you? I'm gonna phone.
Dude, I used to watch this. I used to watch Pyro play fucking Black.
You. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. Don't do it. If you do it, I'll tell my mum and I'll get you suspended on Twitter.
What the fuck was that?
If you do it, I'll tell my mum and I'll get you suspended on Twitter.
Is that? Wait, so this is like his alt? Wait, what is? Wait, no.
Twitter.
Oh wait, no, it says suspended. No, it says it up
and I'll
there.
get you suspended on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay.
Twitter. Meanwhile, I say the word weed or lol and I get suspended instantly. I think easily the worst thing about being suspended is the fact that you're almost locked in a cage with a nice glass mirror so you can see all of Twitter.
Oh, okay. Okay, so no. He's using his suspended account to still see tweets, but he can't text. He can't type to people. Ah, okay.
You can't tweet anything, you can't post anything, you can't interact with anyone, you can't even see your DMs anymore, but you're allowed to see your notifications. And you know what happens when you get suspended? You will see brainlets, just absolute brainlets, arguing over a post you made like 2 years ago, mate.
This is only circumstantial evidence of him potentially knowing Ivory's age, but it begs the question, why lie about being off Twitter? It is entirely possible Pyro knew his age, but there's no concrete proof. Even after all this new proof,
Well, he admits it. He admits it in his fucking video.
Pyro still has plausible deniability, especially considering most of Ivory's tweets mentioning his age are replies rather than posts themselves.
Ida, that's his ex. Or not his ex, his
Throughout
current
the
girlfriend.
DMs between Pyrocynical and Ivory, there is one consistency outside of the degenerate fetish roleplay: Ida. Ida was a mutual friend of Pyro and Ivory, who later began dating Pyro in 2019. Ida was a known furry fat fetish artist. Beyond this, though, she is an important piece of the equation, as their DMs with Ivory poke more holes into the claims Pyro makes in his response video. So let's dig into the DMs. In the first image, Ivory explains that Ida knowingly sent him fat furry fetish content when he was a minor, which he then sent to Pyro. Next, Ivory shared
Wait, what?
Fat furry. Let's dig into the DMs. In the first image, Ivory explains that Ida knowingly sent him fat furry fetish content.
Okay, to be fair, wasn't Ida also underage at the time too?
When he was a minor, which he then sent to Pyro. Next, Ivory shared commission artwork of his Haunter Sona Ida made for him with Pyro, which he called cute. After that, Ivory asked Pyro if he wants to play Dark Souls 3. While he and Ida were on call together, Ida has tweeted about streaming with Pyro and Ivory multiple times, with other creators such as
Wow.
Shibe. She streamed with Ivory showing her commissions as well. These just establish Ivory and Ida's pre-existing friendship, but later DMs get more sinister. The following message shows Ivory venting to Ida about his relationship with Pyrocynical. He is contemplating asking Pyro to be in a relationship with him, but worries he wouldn't want to because of his age and potential regret. This directly contrasts Pyro's narrative of just sending the furry stuff. When Ivory thanked Pyro for suggesting he would pay for a booking at a hotel, he responded, "What did Ida tell you?" With Ivory confirming we were talking about and such. As you can see, this confirms there was a chain of communication between Ida, Pyro, and Ivory, with them
Yeah, and they were in a group chat too.
talking about one another to each other in DMs. Ivory talked about Pyro, and Ida shared personal details.
God, it's like Ivory. I remember Ivory at the time was like framed as this like random shitter, like Pyro talked to, but no, he was so fucking close with this guy.
With the two. It's important to mention it's unknown whether or not Pyro was booked in the hotel for Ivory or Ida, but I'm leaning more towards Ida. However, Ivory was excited for this event nonetheless, and it was one of the last DMs preserved between the two before Pyro wiped his side of the conversation. On top of this, Ivory, Ida, and Pyro were all in a group chat together as well, as inviting Pyro to join a Discord call with Ida and somebody else. A second time, Ivory is even seen stating something he heard from Ida, as he said that he heard that Pyro and Ida were gonna watch It. This goes on further to show the chain of communication they all had with each other. Now, outside of the obvious, showing Ivory and Pyro were closer than he claimed, what is the importance of Ida? In his response, Pyro claims he wasn't close to Ida around the time of the Ivory situation.
Soon to be.
Not true.
But like, it's a whole 2 years before we actually start dating, and
But you didn't start, dude. But oh my god, it's just so disingenuous. It's like, obviously you didn't start dating her as soon as you met her. You obviously talked with her extensively past like previously, and there is like an online footprint of that. Online, people can see you talking and interacting with Ivory and Ida long before you started dating Ida. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Years before this conversation took place. I mean, we both talked before, but we weren't close.
We weren't close. Okay,
She had no
dude. God, this reminds me so much of the creepypasta stuff. Also, I need to fucking pee real quick. Fuck. Music. Bro. Because I don't care about getting copyright claimed. I just don't want to get copyright striked. I was listening to a lot of Daft Punk. The Technologic thing, dude.
Bring it, babe. Watch it, turn it, leave it, stop, format it.
Okay, BRB. Fuck, where is it? Shit. Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's here. BRB. Dude, I'm so mad. I'm gonna forever like miss out on the opportunity to like actually fucking whatchamacallit. Actually see Daft Punk live. Fuck. Hold on, double check, blah 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 blah. Okay, it's back.
No reason to confide with me with someone else's private information. So back when Ivory opened up to Ida about something private, there is no guarantee that she would have came and told me.
Something private, like what? Like dating you? Like dating you because you were so fucking close with Ivory at the time?
Despite the fact that this document and videos based off this document claim it as concrete, irrefutable proof.
As DMs with Ivory and Ida started in 2017 show, she claims her and Pyro call almost every other day. Pyro constantly downplays the extent of his relationship to his own benefit throughout his response, as shown by his relationship with both Ida and Ivory. When Ivory went public about his experience with Pyro, Ida went to his DMs and essentially victim blamed him. Even Pyrocynical disagreed with us.
Wait, what did he say? Like, you're not 14 anymore? Oh, no, yeah, Ida did say this.
Pyro. Ida went to his DMs and essentially victim blamed him. Even Pyrocynical disagreed with us and expressed distaste towards Ida's approach. I only want to highlight it to show that obviously blaming Ivory in this situation is wrong before we move on.
Actually, you know, I'm done drinking.
After concretely learning Ivory's age, Pyro's messages with him did not stop and continued exactly the way they...
Oh my god, I unplugged the fucking thing. Did it play? Hold on, let me just rewind.
After concretely learning Ivory's age, Pyro's messages with him did not stop and continued exactly the way they had before, knowing their age. Pyro continued engaging in the sexual-free conversations. This included the roleplay and discussing NSFW images he received in graphic detail. The roleplay escalated into a conversation about a private commission of an artist drawing the two personas together, with Pyro offering to pay for it. Around this period, there's another
oh my god,
discussion of meeting up, made far more egregious considering Pyro now definitively knows Ivory's age. Ivory brings up getting some UK friends together, inviting Pyro to join. It is unknown if he actually agreed to go, but in context, it is reasonable to assume Pyro was somewhat considering it, asking for more details. Further into the conversation, Ivory talks about a sexual conversation he had with a different guy, marking the second time they discuss an IRL situation. The conversations continued through 2018 even, with Ivory sending more fat images and discussing other things. He asked Pyro if he ever admitted to his personas in SFW, with Ivory saying, "Wait, you did? God bless." At the same time,
wait, what? Have you ever noted to my sonas? Wait, you did? God bless. Dude.
Personas in SFW, with Ivory saying, "Wait, you did?"
I feel like I don't I don't remember some of this stuff, and it's like, Jesus.
God bless. At the same time, Ivory admits as well that he noted in the past to the furry content Pyro had sent him as well. This goes on to prove that both Pyro and Ivory
it's like they have a sexual relationship. Like it is a sexual relationship. It's not just like dumb silly little fought role plays that we did back in like 2017. No, you were like jerking off to each other's bullshit, dude.
Deriving sexual pleasure from
trying to fly them out, yeah.
Conversations IRL, if it wasn't already apparent. This goes on to prove that it was a lot.
Oh, guys, we had intensive sexual conversations and we jerked off to each other's drawings, but I wouldn't have fucked him. Guys, I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I would suck the fucking fart out of his asshole, but I'm not gay, bro.
A lot more than two morons talking about farts, where it was just pretend, as Pyro asserts. Pyro and Ivory were engaging sexually with their explicit fantasies. Moving on, messages go until 2019, with Ivory asking Pyro to send thick, as he hasn't gone any in a while. At the end of this chapter, I think it's safe to say that—
Dude, I really want— Dude, like, the more I'm watching this video, dude, the more I'm just like, I really want someone to just make a video like this on Creeps, please. Fucking please, because the only video that goes that did good views, and no, like, yeah, the only video that did good views got like 500,000 views, which sounds like a lot, but it's from TCR, and he only goes over like one tiny part about Creeps' allegations, and that's in regards specifically to Komori. There is so much more other shit, and Creeps just didn't go into it. Or not Creeps, but like that creepy reading did not go into it. And I really wish someone did something like this. It's an extensive breakdown of all the freak shit that this guy fucking did, in depth, and showing that he's fucking lying about it. I fucked it. I fucked it, dude. I fucked up.
What is displayed here with the Ivory allegations is a deranged freak that used a 16-year-old for his own sexual gratification at the age of 20. Pyro unfortunately used the discrediting of the groomer label to throw out all of the questionable and gross behavior in his response. While these allegations were in full effect, he then went to Reddit to respond to them, making a undoubtedly horrible statement. Gamers, I'd like to take this opportunity to address a fault.
Like, hey gamer, dude, it's just like already starting off with like insincere and like fucking an insincere tone to be like, hey guys, this is like a totally lol moment. Okay.
False allegation recently made against me on Twitter. As some of you may have seen, it has been claimed back in 2016 when I was 19 years old that I groomed an individual who was 15 years old at the time. I want to set the record straight with all of you and share the truth. This accusation is 100% false and incredibly irresponsible. I'm not denying that in the past, I took part in conversations with others that many of you will understandably consider to be weird and distasteful, probably an understatement. It was careless of me not to consider who was behind the roleplay, art sharing, and I take full accountability.
To not consider, but you knew. But you fucking knew. God, bro.
But these exchanges never amounted to anything other than fantasy roleplay. I've never sent
fuck off
or solicited or IRL content. I've never tried to engineer an illicit encounter or lure anybody into anything. I've never built a dialogue, connection, or relationship with the intention of manipulating or exploiting anyone. This was even confirmed by
I would say that's a lie.
Himself in an interview. YouTube.
With the Tommy C interview, no, I would say it is grooming. I would say it is grooming. I mean, like Pyro. I mean, it's hard to know. So they showed the whole fucking DMs, and I kind of wish Amos pointed this out. Like, who was the one who initiated the sexual contact? Because I think that is kind of important. Do I want to fucking rewind, bro? I mean, maybe it wasn't grooming, it was mutual sexual interest in one another, but dude. Like Pyro openly admitted in the DMs that he knew he shouldn't be fucking doing this shit. He knew he shouldn't be doing this shit, dude.
Blank. Though Pyro is telling the truth about the nudes were exchanged, he neglects to mention the fact that Ivory says Pyro manipulated him, which is how he came to the conclusion that Pyro groomed him. He stayed stalwart on this point throughout his interview. Whether I agree with the label of groomer or not, the statement—
Wait, hold on. No. Ivory, like, walked it back, did he not?
Of Ivory confirming everything he wrote in the section of his—
Like, he walked back the label of groomer. I think he did, right?
Response is a downright lie. Even Pyro's repeated point that it is only fantasy roleplay is deceptive and intentionally
I imagine they met each other in a Gunner furry server and then went to DMs. No, they met in a commentary server. Pyro and Ivory met in like a commentary YouTuber servers. Solid Shibes, who was 15 at the time. So Pyro was hanging out in a Discord server ran by a 15-year-old full of a bunch of kids when he was like 19, 18 years old. And like that's where he met Ivory. So
downplays what really went on between them. In the archives that still exist with both sides, when role-playing, hyper-specific sexual acts are talked about by both parties. Calling the exchanges just roleplay makes it seem like the two were taking part in a—
It's just roleplay, dude. Isn't there like literally a To Catch a Predator clip? Hold on. Isn't this like a literal quote? It was a role-playing chat room. Where the fuck is it, dude?
Hey man, I don't want to be on the news. You feel me?
We are filming.
I don't want to be on the news, dog.
Well, it's a little late for that, dog.
It's a little late for that, dog.
Now, if there's anything else you want to tell me.
All I gotta say is ain't nothing going on here, dude. Nothing funny going on here.
Nothing funny going on.
No. If the girl's really 14, then I know, but...
She told you she was 14.
See, we were in a role-playing chat room, dude.
Dude, see, it like literally is like a To Catch a Predator. It was a role-play chat room, bro. Like,
you know how many times I hear that?
No, I was in a role-playing chat room, dude. You got the phone records? You got that?
It's so stupid, dude.
D&D game together, or describing their personas having a tea party together, rather than the
Hey, but it was a role-playing chat room, dog.
degenerate filth that actually occurred. He never at any point stated that he felt uncomfortable, and if he did, I never would have continued to message and respond to him. Every exchange
Oh, that's where you would draw the fucking line. It was like, oh, Ivory wasn't uncomfortable with it, and he didn't tell me he was uncomfortable with it. That's what it made me stop. Not the fact that you knew he was a fucking minor and would say this in your response video that you found out he was a minor and you kept fucking doing sexual role plays with him.
between Ivory and I was fully consensual and reciprocal.
Actually, no, children can't consent. Pyro, actually, children can't consent.
I recognize I'm saying the obvious, but a minor cannot consent by definition.
I literally,
and this is made worse
literally just said that.
By Pyro being 20 at the time. It is insane to me that anybody would be able to take this point seriously. He never once disclosed the fact that he was 15 at the time that these exchanges commenced. He did include his age in bio.
At the time when these exchanges commenced, true. That is true. Are you leaving out a particular detail?
Until he was 16, but I was not on Twitter between the 28th of December 2016 until 29th of June 2017, as I was suspended.
He did, yeah?
As we know by now, this point is a blatant lie. From the 2 videos on his channel during the alleged time he was not on Twitter, to the DM he sent Ivory with a Twitter link, there is more than enough evidence to show this is not true. It's clear he lied on this point. Moreover, individuals have since come forward contending that Ivory would be—
here's the thing. His claim that, like, he wasn't on Twitter at the time, like, to specifically point this out, that his claim that he wasn't on Twitter at the time, so he couldn't have known Ivory's age. So his standard is like, if he was on Twitter at the time, he would have known Ivory's age and would have stopped talking to Ivory. But then in the DMs, he's linking to Ivory's tweets. So it's like, okay, so you were looking at his Twitter. So by your own standard and your own logic, you did know he was fucking underage and you kept talking to him.
disingenuous about his age to proactively gain entry to other fantasy roleplay groups.
Wait, individuals have since come forward contending that Ivory would be disingenuous about his age? Okay, where the fuck is that coming from, bro?
Oops, imagery link. I'm really confused about Ivory's inconsistency. This is evidence to suggest that he engaged in fantasy roleplay with another individual similar in age to me. This individual was also not aware of Ivory's age at
Smearing the victim as a liar, classic move.
the time, but in this particular example, it was.
Smearing the victims as liars when you actually know that they're telling the truth. Classic move.
Ivory, who very much initiated and directed the roleplay, and the link Pyro provided in his
blaming the minor. Wow. Did he train at the Doodle Diapers dojo? The Doodle Diapers dojo? Is that where he trained the art, the mastery of smearing victims as liars? Is that what he did?
response, he shows a Twitter user that claimed Ivory lied about his age to both Pyro and his own friends. The issue with this? Firstly, Pyro himself knew this claim wasn't true. Secondly, this user was clearly trying as hard as they could to prove that claiming he was a clout chaser on top
Exactly. Yeah, this person was like a demented fucking Pyro fan. Since you were talking about Doodle Tones earlier, I was actually in the server. She's still in on her Dontone Stories account. No, yeah, Archipelago, I'm in that server too. I'm not telling my alt though. It's not, I'm not going by Fembro or Hilo the Bloodspila. So I left after I found out the mods weren't properly doing their job. Yeah. Well, I'm in there honestly to keep tabs on Doodle Tones because she's not very active in it, especially ever since her alt got outed. But she still sometimes posts, and I even caught her joining a VC one time. Now, like there's evidence that she joined a VC pretty recently through her messages, but I wasn't there. Like I didn't join like the voice call or anything like that. But she is in voice calls.
of alleging Ivory lied. The cloud chasing argument comes from the joke E-Fame song I already played earlier.
Well, like, can I show this real quick? Hold on. Dawn told stories. Hold on, let me like from no. Can I search by user? Why can't I search for users? Oh fuck, I accidentally reacted to one of her posts. Accidentally reacted to one of her posts. Shit. That might be suspicious. Full transparency, I have no idea if I saw or said anything wrong there without realizing it. If I did, I'm so sorry. I mean, like I mean, the server is supposed to be moderated. It's supposed to be like age gated, and then like, I mean, I don't even know what the fuck. I don't even know who the fuck you are, to be honest. Dawn told. How do I search this up? There is evidence she joined a fucking VC. How do I search up by user per user? Oh, okay. I had it on streamer mode. Okay, from Dawn told stories. Here we go. And let me screenshot this specifically. There we go. Right here. Screenshot. Screenshot that. Put that there. Put it in my downloads folder. Downloads folder. Downloads. New thing. Boom, right there. See? She's in the just chatting fucking VC, and she posted this picture in the just chatting fucking text VC. So she is joining voice calls and shit.
False 18+ Discord server claims and the testimony. It doesn't take a detective to figure out how retarded this Twitter thread is. However, Pyro takes on the thread. I'm really confused by Ivory's inconsistency. Pyro's own fallacies are the last confusing part of the situation, however. Pyro used the first thread on top of another, claiming Ivory engaged in roleplay with someone else who, in Pyro's words, was a similar age to him. Naturally, this is a very stupid point. Just because another adult was as reckless and irresponsible as Pyro, it doesn't make Ivory at fault for either situation, nor does its inclusion change anything about this. On top of everything, one of the creators of the thread later retracted their claims, making them null. Of course, Pyro never revises his statement to note this. Pyro knowingly bolstered misinformation in his response to discredit Ivory and pay him to be a liar and a clout chaser. The irony of him claiming, "I'm not here to personally attack anyone," after platforming false claims about Ivory and painting him to be a false accused and clout hungry.
Just like creepypasta, literally the exact fucking thing he did in his response video. The exact same fucking thing. Oh, I still use Archipelago Randomizer. It's fun, but holy shit, I did not know why the server isn't being properly moderated. To be fair, like, I mean, the server is like intensely active. And I can imagine like some things might skip over it. But my thing is like one of the lead mods basically said that it's okay to talk about sex toys and using sex toys or whatever the fuck. Like one of the lead mods had said that. The Dragon something, whatever the fuck their name is, like Dragon Row or whatever the hell. That person is sus as fuck. And every time I see their fucking profile, dude, I had a joke set up because they had like a naked slime lolly as their like profile picture at one point, and I had like a fucking joke being like, hey, Doodle Tones used to have a fucking naked slime lolly as her fucking thing too in her Medicare video. But then like I didn't screenshot it at the time. So I don't have any evidence that they did have a naked slime lolly, but they do have like small little fucking like baby anime girls as their fucking profile pictures and shit like that. I'm like, that person's like so fucking sauce. That person is so fucking sauce, dude.
Hungry loser should not be lost at all. After Ivory alleged that I groomed him, this individual then reached out to him to apologize for any hurt he may have inadvertently caused him. To
Wait, David Grimm's video? Who is David Grimm? Hold up.
Ivory responded, "No, you're fine, I don't care." Why does he not care in this instance? Why does he remain unaffected by similar interaction with others, yet felt the need to single me out and character assassinate only me on social media? Regardless of how Ivory feels about that situation, if the evidence and facts show someone's actions to be reprehensible, it's still condemnable. If he is angry, confused, or sad as he claims to be, why has he been in friendly contact with me right up until September of this year? Imager link. During the interview,
I have no idea who David Grimm is.
You mentioned earlier,
Oh, Fenrir. Yeah, okay, no.
he was confronted with evidence that he had sent card to somebody else. He intentionally claims it was him, but then backtracks, claiming he has no recollection. This section is merely deflecting, attempting to attack Ivory so he can distract from what he did. From his dishonesty and misinformation to his mudslinging. This is a laughably bad response to serious allegations.
I wouldn't even use the adjective bad. Like, it's malicious. It's malicious. He is like actively, knowingly lying and misleading his audience. He's doing the same fucking thing he did with the French girl shit. He's actively doing that.
Whether or not Pyro is in the right for refuting the claims of grooming specifically is irrelevant, because it does not disregard his already proven abhorrent behavior. This Reddit essay only further exemplifies Pyro's pattern of deflecting, lying, and obfuscating, but his video responding to the—
It's malicious. I wanna like harp on that. It's malicious. It's malicious. Anytime you see someone like actively knowingly lying to try and misdirect and try and point people the other way, or point people to think a more favorable way about yourself or someone that you like, or their, not yourself, but their selves, or someone they like, it's malicious. It's malicious. You are knowingly lying and misdirecting people, like, to fuck them over. Like, it's malicious.
Claims is somehow even worse. Pyro made a video response to the Ivory allegations titled "My Response." It should be unsurprising at this point in the video it contains multiple instances of Pyro lying and downplaying the situation. Within 30 seconds, Pyro is already demonstrating his status as a generational capper when he says he thought the evidence provided in his first response was enough, despite the fact almost the entire response was spent maligning Ivory and spreading misinformation about him, with the only thing pertaining to Pyro himself being his downplaying the severity of his fantasy roleplay with the 15 to 16-year-old.
I originally made a response on my subreddit, and I truly believed the evidence I provided was enough, and for a time it was.
He then claims he never lied at any—
What do you mean at the time it was? Like, what literally nothing new came to light. It was just people pointing out that you're fucking lying.
Point, even though I've already proved he has multiple times. In addition to combating Ivory's post, he also responds to a Google document Turkey Tom made, and doing this, he is able to conflate a lot of what
Yeah, not the video, but the fucking doc. Good one.
Ivory said with Tom's document, and blame Tom for things he never actually said. He calls the doc disingenuous and manipulative, which makes it sound like he's speaking about his own Reddit response.
I just want to be clear, I have never lied at any point. This
Case closed, guys. Case closed. Pack it in. Pack it in. He said he never lied. He said he never lied, so that must mean that he didn't lie. No way.
This document is disingenuous, manipulative, and it fails to include so much of my original statement.
Pyro admits to engaging in degenerate furry roleplay with pretty much anyone who would reciprocate. I'm not going to speculate on the potential of him roleplaying with other minors, but it still goes to show Pyro was operating extremely recklessly and irresponsibly, and something like the Ivory situation was bound to happen.
For those who haven't read the entirety of my original response, let me give a little background. When I was 19 and 20, I liked to take part in this degenerate furry roleplay with pretty much anyone that would reciprocate.
Around 2 minutes into the video, we see the infamous claim from Pyro that it was just pure fantasy garbage. There are naturally a few things wrong with this claim. When imagining fantasy roleplay and addressing claims of potential sexual misconduct, one pictures something innocent or silly. However, the roleplay between the two involved explicit sexual acts, fantasizing about body parts, and even discussed nutting to some of the images sent between them. Regardless of whether this was rooted in reality, it was not as innocent as Pyro attempts to frame it as. On top of this, when Pyro had multiple instances of reasonable suspicion that Ivory was underage, Ivory spoke in detail about his IRL sex life. This is yet another point of stripping away Pyro's excuse of pure fantasy.
And looking back on it now, the word cringe, That doesn't near do enough justice to how
Lol, it was just cringe.
sad this all
Oh my god, bro.
was. These conversations never led to any news being exchanged. It was
so fucking
just
manipulative.
purely fantasy garbage.
Pyro harps on the fact that no nudes were exchanged, and separately lumps the two claims into one, while having a clip of Ivory's interview back him up. He says no nudes were exchanged, and it was just purely fantasy garbage, making it seem like Ivory agreed with both, when that is clearly not the case.
Never led to any nudes being exchanged. It was just purely fantasy garbage, something which Ivory himself confirms.
Did he ever ask you?
No.
No.
Pyro maintains he did not lie within his Reddit post, and he had absolutely no idea that Ivory was 15 when their exchanges started.
Almost
As
Swedish,
we've
whatever,
discussed
bro,
multiple
dude.
times up to this point, there is reasonable suspicion on several accounts to indicate Ivory was underage. And while Pyro is able to claim this, given his other lies, it certainly puts this point into skepticism. He also makes the point that Ivory never disclosed his age, which is true, but naturally, the impetus to check the age of who he is engaging in sexual roleplay with is on the adult, not the child.
It was entirely my responsibility to verify his age before having these conversations, and the fact that I didn't, that is so incredibly negligible.
It's like he thinks he's like, yes, this is like feigning taking accountability. It's like if I admit that like I didn't check the age, then I could just admit to that and like ignore literally everything else that is like significantly more damning. Like
Negligent of me to do so. I may have been young myself, but still old enough to know better.
and then it's like his fans. It gives ammunition to his fans. It's like, well, Pyro already addressed it. He already addressed it. No, he fucking didn't. No, he didn't. He addressed the made up accusations against him. That like Pyro didn't check the age. No one was accusing him that he didn't check the age. Nobody was accusing him of that. He didn't take accountability. He didn't address these allegations.
Let me be very clear. I had absolutely no idea that he was 15.
Bullshit.
I absolutely did not lie in my original Reddit post, and I would
Absolutely did not lie.
like to emphasize that.
Pyro makes the point to say that Ivory was perfectly cool with him up until September, to discredit his claims even further, and to attempt to paint him as a clout chaser. He tries to make Ivory's allegations even more severe, claiming he was attempting to expose him as a sexual predator and knew his age all along. However, Ivory only claimed he knew his age all along, not that he was a sexual predator. He does this so he can confidently say both of these are untrue, when one of them was never alleged in the first place. Pyro loves setting up straw men, representing his opponents to make himself seem more innocent.
Ivory himself did not disclose to me directly that he was 15. And the evidence itself supports this too. Up until September this year, I'd be perfectly cool.
Okay, cool. What about the evidence that doesn't?
With him. We were still speaking and still on very good terms. However, for one reason or another, he felt the need to come out about these allegations. To expose that I'm a sexual predator, I took advantage of him, and I knew his age all along. This is all untrue, and I am amazed how out of proportion this is all blown up.
Pyro enlisted the help of his friend Colossal's Crazy to read
Dude, Colossal sweeping for this shit fucking angers me, bro.
the DMs Pyro describes as
I liked Colossal so fucking much, but like when I saw this fucking dude sweeping so hard, even as recently as Baited coming back last year, dude, I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like this guy was, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't like what does he have on you that makes you compelled to just like lie for him? I just don't get it.
As more damning. He reads them out in a silly bodacious way, which makes them seem more like cringe rather than serious sexual roleplay conversations. I don't think Colossal is to be blamed in this situation, but
no, fuck you. No, fuck you. I think if you're gonna involve yourself as far as to like narrate particular lines and push a specific tailored narrative that Pyro wants to push, is like, hey, can you read these grooming DMs of me having these intense sexual conversations with this child? Can you read these DMs in a silly voice? To help me push the narrative that I'm innocent. Thanks, Colossal. No, fuck Colossal. Fuck Colossal for fucking signaling this shit. Nope. Get fucked.
it is certainly an intentional strategy to further downplay this.
Exactly. It's an intentional fucking strategy, and Colossal gleefully, happily played along with it. Nope. Get completely fucked. You don't get any fucking mercy.
Severity of what.
Now, I don't think, to be clear, I don't think Colossal is culpable in the grooming, but he's culpable in the cover-up. He
did. It also shows that other gigantic YouTubers were on Pyro's side.
Several of our conversations were leaked online by Ivory. Here's one of the more damning ones.
I'd love for my Sona to be licking at his fat, sweaty, while rubbing his belly from behind, and then just having him all over my Sona's face. That'd be so nice. Or if mine was
Has to
just
pay his gambling
underneath
debt? Yeah,
him,
maybe.
getting his huge belly, and your Sona could be non-stop as he f***s mine like, huh?
At 4 minutes and 15 seconds, Pyro says, "You got me. Now the whole world pretty much knows what I took off to." This directly contradicts the claim a lot of his response hinges on. That is, fantasy completely detached from sexualization or reality, which he goes back to when he says at 7 minutes
That's
and
true.
15 seconds that there was no sexual.
I didn't even pick up on that. Yeah, no, it's like, well, how come you just said like it's not sexual when you like just now admitted that it was sexual?
Interest there.
He's provided a lot of proof like this to show how much of a degenerate I was, and I mean, I agree, you know, you got me. Now, the whole world pretty much knows what I jerked off to, but what he and no one else has done is come close to substantiating how this constitutes as... I mean, yeah, we shared some fat furry.
I mean, yeah, we had extensive sexual role plays and we shared fat furry fetish art, and like I was slowly but surely whittling down his boundaries as a minor to make him more susceptible to more and more intense sexual conversations, and eventually even entertain the possibility of having IRL sexual contact with one another, and even inviting him into an IRL event and him talking about having to get a fake ID to fucking go to bars and shit. But oh yeah, let's just overlook all of that shit, dude. My God.
We had some weird fantasy roleplay, but there was no interest. There were no nudes exchanged. His
Such a liar,
name,
man.
His appearance, it wasn't important to me. I didn't even know what he looked like at this point. I mean, if he linked me a picture or something, I would have forgotten it because it was just that irrelevant to me.
As I've stated multiple times, although there is no
some part of me wanted to say, you know what? I don't think pedophiles care about what the kids look like. I think they just, I think they probably just don't care.
explicit proof Pyro knew Ivory was...
But I don't know if he's a pedophile. I can't prove it.
15. It is very strange of him to hinge on a proven lie that he was not on Twitter. It just goes to show the extent of Pyro's willingness to lie, even when it's not needed. He could have just said that there was no proof and he did not see these tweets, but he commits himself to saying he was not on Twitter at all.
So if I'm so sure that I didn't know he was 15, how would I have missed this? This is something I said in my original Reddit statement. He never once disclosed the fact that he was 15 at the time these exchanges commenced. He didn't include his age in his
because it was obvious
bio until he was 16, but I was not on Twitter between the 28th of December 2016 until the 29th of June 2017, as I was suspended. It would have been a hell of a lot less likely for me to see all but one of these tweets that's been used as evidence in this Google Doc.
He does concede and say he should have never continued the furry roleplay with him once he learned of his age, but immediately downplays it when he explains Ivory was the legal age of consent, both where Pyro lived and Ivory's state of Pennsylvania.
That doesn't not make you a disgusting freak. Like, why do you think this is an offense? It's like, oh guys, it's like, dude, did you know that Pyrocynical flew to Thailand and fucked a 12-year-old? It's like, oh my God, that's so fucked. Wait, guys, the age of consent in Thailand is actually 12, so it's actually doesn't matter. What are you fucking talking about, dude? Who cares? Who cares? Like, oh, it was legal in my country. I don't give a fuck. It was legal in your country. It's probably legal. It's probably legal in some other fucking like tribalistic fucking nation to fucking literal toddler. They probably don't give a shit about that. They're not gonna put you in prison for that. That doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, he claims it was so far removed from actual sex, despite, again, just a few minutes earlier talking about jerking off.
The age in bio says 16. This is something
Said
I
this,
acknowledged in my
Cosmodor
Reddit
said the
post.
same.
But to be fair, I probably didn't elaborate enough on it. In retrospect, I never should have continued the furry stuff with him once I learnt of his age, even though at the time...
Why did you? I would like to know an answer to that question. Why did you?
Time, I didn't see it as a problem. Legally, age of consent...
You didn't see it as a problem. So let me get this straight. You didn't know Ivory's age at one point, and you were having intensive sexual conversations. And then after that point of knowing his age, you continue sexual conversations, but you only continue the sexual conversations because you didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sure.
Is 16 in both my country and his state. I didn't consider the age gap significant enough because what we were...
Why not? It was a 4+ year age gap.
talking about and doing...
That's fucking insane. That's creepy.
Was so...
At the very, very, very least, you could say that's fucking creepy. And that apparently, that same age gap was apparently enough for you to not date the other minor, the French girl. So, what the fuck? International age of consent is 18. Ivory was American, and Pyro, I'm guessing, is British. Yeah.
Far removed from actual sex. It literally was just fantasy furry garbage because I didn't consider Ivory sexual in any way in person.
As we've already discussed, he lies about his closeness with Ida in order to legitimize his claims he could not have learned of Ivory's age, saying they weren't close. Although it is still plausible Ida would not have openly discussed Ivory's age with him, I proved multiple times that they were decently close while all of this was going on.
So here they're trying to make it seem impossible I wouldn't have known his age or had to do some kind of like insane mental gymnastics to never find out. But if you look at the DMs Ivory provided himself for this document, you can see that he's confiding with Ida about age being a problem. Keep in mind as well, I was not in a relationship with Ida until about mid-2019. This document claims it as soon to be, but like, it's a whole 2 years before we actually start dating, and 2 whole years before this conversation took place. I mean, we both talked before, but we weren't close. She had no reason to confide with me with someone else's...
But then you were still talking with Ivory, so you mean to tell me that also, let's go with this fucking narrative that Ida didn't tell you at any point in time that like, oh hey, Ivory, you know that person that you're like really, really, really close to, and that I know, that you know, that I know that you're really, really fucking close to? Oh yeah, that person's like fucking 16 years old, by the way. That never got brought up, really?
Private information.
He further clarifies that the thread trying to prove his innocence was not actually retracted, but regardless, it is complete.
Which again, speculation like on my end, but it's like, dude, like come the fuck on. Like, I mean, either way, why not, it's such a useless fucking like point to make, honestly, because like, dude, you motherfucker, you admitted it. You literally knew the age. Like
bullshit, as he relies on testimony
past a certain point.
That proves nothing. He further clarifies he never made the claim Ivory lied about his age, but he might as well have, because he signal boosted that narrative and used it as a
that might be a little bit of a reach, but
point of argument against Ivory.
On top of that as well, the person who made the thread defending me recently came out and said at no point did he actually apologize for making that thread, and his words have been twisted and put in this document to be used against him. The reason why I used these Twitter screenshots against him is the fact that I felt his accusations...
Yeah, dude, it's like that. It's like, guys, I'm not a pedophile. See the age of consent laws actually say that it's technically legal for me to like sex with this fucking like minor at the time when I was like an adult. So, haha, lol, get fucked. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Came from a place of dishonesty. We spoke casually on and off until September of this year. I provided screenshots of our conversations that were posted in my Reddit statement. There was no bad blood. And then when other people came out on Twitter saying that they also had dishonest experiences with him, I used that to further my own belief that these accusations were made for the sake of it. Me including the anecdotal evidence led to the belief that Ivory lied about his age. That is never a claim I have made that he has done to me. I've only said that I did not know his age at 15.
Pyro also makes the argument he deleted the DMs because he didn't want people finding out about his degenerate fetishes. Even though he already previously admitted
then why didn't you delete it? Yeah, it's like mentioned earlier in this video, then why didn't you delete it?
The age gap was a bad thing, throwing his exclusionary reasoning and
he deleted other things. He clearly fucking deleted other things. Why didn't you delete the fucking fat first shit?
The question.
Now, this is a good time actually to discuss a Discord conversation that was leaked, where I'm asking someone for a way to like mass delete Discord messages. Very obvious explanation. I was shit scared of the public finding out that I was a complete...
Dude, this fucking guy. He's saying this with a smile on his face. You know who else brazenly lied with a smile on their face during them addressing their accusations? I think, isn't this video literally called My Response? I cannot, dude, the parallels between this and creepypastas is actually fucking insane. Oh my fucking god. Check this fucking shit out. Okay, no, it's not my response. It's just response. Okay, dude, it's dude. Look at this fucking shit. Oh my god, dude. Even the way their fucking body is angled in the thumbnail, it's like, dude. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me, dude? It's like his is like the opposite. It's like mirrored. This is so fucking unreal.
Degenerate.
At 16 minutes and 50 seconds, Pyro combats the claim he lied with, "I have never actually changed my story from my original post." Obviously,
guys need to hire better
this
writers.
does not disprove him lying whatsoever.
Documents like these only try to show one side and build a narrative that I'm a liar when I have never actually changed my story from my original
Such a fucking... Ironically enough, that's a lie.
post. My mistake, if anything, was not being
It could be
clearer.
playing a
I have
ukulele,
never
that's
tried to
true.
hide anything.
At 17 minutes and 57 seconds, Pyro shows the rest of the DM conversation, exhibiting Ivory doing free roleplay with a person of similar age to Pyro. He accidentally hurts his own argument though, showing a message which was maliciously left out where Ivory said he needed some space. This is important because Pyro claimed Ivory did not care what another alleged adult did to him, but him
That doesn't make it fucking... Why did this fly under the fucking radar? That doesn't make it okay. That doesn't make it okay. Like, oh, like just on its surface, the argument is like, well, Ivory didn't care that he was being actively sexually pursued by an adult with this guy, right? So that must mean it's okay for me to do what I did, or that at least delegitimizes what I did to him, right? Because he doesn't care when another adult does it, but now he cares when I do it. Fuck off. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. I almost want to say this. You understand animals lack so much intelligence that they probably don't even fucking care that people rape them. You know, there's probably some animals out there that don't care that people rape them. Does that make it okay? No, it doesn't. No, it fucking actually doesn't.
needing space shows he had some level of negative feelings towards the interaction.
It's the act itself that is immoral. Who fucking gives a fuck if the victim doesn't care?
They then show a screenshot that I posted of Ivory talking about the cringer furry stuff with someone else. Ivory then posted the rest of the conversation on Twitter, and it really doesn't change the narrative much, apart from adding...
It especially doesn't help that he's acknowledging that he knows he shouldn't be fucking doing it.
That he wants to be left alone. At the time, I felt it was more than fair that I show an example of Ivory having a similar conversation with someone else.
No, it's not only fair. You're doing this to delegitimize the accusation.
And how he wasn't affected by it as he claims he was with me. He still excused the guy. There was no call-out post on him. And I think it was fair to question that. Like, why didn't he see a problem?
Because the guy probably wasn't a multi-million sub fucking YouTuber that, yeah, that has a community full of minors, maybe?
It's a shit show of a response with apologizing to Ivory, and it is very difficult to take this or any of his accountability seriously, where he continuously lied, downplayed, and mischaracterized everyone else involved to make himself seem more innocent.
Now, I do want to directly say something to Ivory and apologize to him and to anyone else that I did the furry roleplay garbage with. What seemed consensual and reciprocal may very well not have been. It's not my place to decide. It happened. It was my responsibility to verify age, and I never did, and I am sorry for that. You shouldn't have been put in that
so fucking manipulative
situation, and it was stupid of me to message people about this furry stuff without taking into account the influence of my platform, especially considering how the tone of these messages
also
were.
getting
2
canceled.
months ago, Pyro responded to a lengthy document summarizing the allegations we have already talked.
And to be also clear, YMS is in this shit that he's in right now because of his response. Because YMS is such like a spurgy fucking retard. This guy was like false flagging Rob's Media's video, exposing him for all this fucking shit, or like rather re-exposing or reigniting or putting a light back on old fucking bullshit. That got buried, algorithmically buried. And him just constantly like fucking throwing hands with every single fucking person that has a problem with it, and like having this intensive fucking like month plus long spiral is like that's what put him in that situation. If Adam literally just ignored Rob's video, nothing would have happened. Nothing would have happened. We would like none of this shit would have whatever YMS is going through would have not have happened.
talked about, along with mentioning new allegations I will cover in a minute. It was not official and was instead—
But because Pyro is willing to like lie in one video and just be like, well, I'm gonna let other people like, well, to be fair, also like people like Parlo getting involved and like making himself the focal point of reigniting these allegations also kind of fucking hurts the credibility of the accusations almost inherently. But I don't know. I need to think more about it.
Quickly addressing the document on a stream where he was gearing up to play a game. Pyro says he was waiting for this document to come out, and he is going to treat the same way he treated his previous
yeah, it's the same way. Which is I think at this point he's probably just not going to respond.
Allegations. He said he will let—
He's probably just going to ignore it, especially because Parlo completely fucked it with the whole Parlo with Parlo's own fucking bullshit, dude. It's like even if the claims are completely false and like, you know, Parlo didn't know the guy's age, dude, either fucking way, you need to hand this fucking bullshit off to someone else, which like I think that's kind of why Amos is making this video, but
other YouTubers say their piece about it, meaning he will do exactly what he did the last time, setting up strawman of extremity and responding easily to claims that were never—
Well, all Pyro has to do is basically be like, this is the guy who's accusing me, by the way. That's all he has to do.
Made. He even highlights his previous strategy, talking about how he used YouTubers' responses in his own video.
I did that with the original video. I remember like I remember in the original response video when YouTubers like had their say and stuff, and then I used that in my actual response video
KP
as
was
well.
acting, yep.
So it's just like it's a—
well the thing with Parlo, right, is that Parlo has false flagged people in the past over unrelated stuff. But in regards to like the Pyro stuff, I mean, he's taken reasonable he's taken a reasonable amount of criticism for how he's handled the Pyro shits so far. But the thing is like he's being accused of like having like had sexual conversations with a 12-year-old. So it's like, okay, dude. Like I don't know if you can handle. I don't know if you should be handling this this video anymore.
Waiting game for this document to come out, and now it's another waiting game to see, like, for everyone to have their piece to say, basically.
Pyro says his only options are to put his head under the sand and to sit in his apartment all day gooning, or continue how he is. But by not responding, he is electing to do both, gooning included.
So it's just another waiting game, you know? And I got two choices now. I basically put my head under the sand and I stop working, and then my employees suffer because they can't get paid, you know? And I just like sit in my apartment gooning all day, or I just keep working until until it comes to that point. There's really not much else I could do in this situation apart from, just waiting for,
Which, to be fair, I mean, like, having to wait for the full doc to come out is like, I mean, that's the normal thing to do, which honestly, he should be doing that. He should wait until like the whole thing comes out prior to addressing it. But it's like, I think he knows what's coming, and the play is just to fucking ignore it. I think he's just gonna ignore it. I don't think a fucking response video is coming.
Now that we have covered his response, what is the document he felt the need to address in the first place?
God damn it.
On August 12th, 2025, popular Roblox YouTuber Parlo released a whopping 300-page doc on Pyrocynical, including subjects I've already covered, like the French girl and Ivory, but also included new allegations which are unproven and unsubstantiated in some of the cases. I'm not going to spend—
Some of them are, well, no, to be fair, some of them were substantiated. Now, it's circumstantial evidence, but I think it's enough circumstantial evidence to be like, okay, no, this is like pretty damning. I do remember, I can't recall exactly specific ones because like honestly that fucking whole shit was a flash in a pan in my brain. But I do remember feeling like reading some of them was just like, okay, this is like speculative as fuck. I don't know if you knew the fucking age of this person, but some of them were, it's like, okay, there was enough reason to believe that he knew the age of this fucking person. He still continued to engage with them sexually. So I think was it the abortion, the something abortion person that I think I felt like there was enough circumstantial evidence to suggest that he knew the age of that person and he still kept fucking talking to them sexually.
too long talking about the doc itself, outside of saying there's absolutely zero reason it had to be this long. Parlo has a tendency
That is fucking true.
to loop and talk about the same point over and over again and act like it's a new one, which only weakens the arguments he's trying to put forward. Similar to his video, which was premiered on YouTuber Himpleton's live stream,
God.
Parlo cannot help repeating himself and extends both his document and his video's runtime egregiously. Unfortunately, this is the unintended side effect of losing most viewers' interest, which is a shame due to the obvious severity of Pyro's.
Oh my God, I just want to punch myself on the fucking head because again, it brings me back to the creeps fucking bullshit. It's like I fucked it up so hard, bro. Because literally just because of the intro, if I just clipped the intro and just jumped right into the allegations, it would have been a perfectly fucking fine video. Fuck.
Conduct and dishonest.
I wonder if you pull a Vosh point and focus on the furry hate and ignore the real question. No, he won't do that. He won't make that play. It's either going to be a flat out ignoring of the allegations, or he's just going to be like, well, I already addressed like all of this fucking bullshit in my other video, so fucking cry about it or something.
On top of this, Parlo is very assumptive despite his full understanding of how Pyro treated the Keemstar French girl allegation. When it comes to Pyro, what is claimed must be airtight and without assumption. Otherwise, he will single it out and use it to continue to operate without accountability. Now that I've given my thoughts on the document, let me get into the new allegations. For some reason, Parlo censors Pink's Twitter handle for no reason. They made a public accusation, so their username should not be censored. They claim to have been groomed by Pyro when they were 15 to 16, and Pyro being 19 to 20 at the time. Their age was in their bio and Pyro Cynical followed them. Unfortunately for him, Parlo censored everything except for the proof Pyro followed them, still showing their Twitter handle iFunnyChef. The only proof shown is a potentially sexual art piece of his character, but there is no screenshots of their conversation shown. Parlo says that after consulting them, they are not currently willing to come out about their allegations. But what do they have to come out about? They apparently have no screenshots of their conversations with Pyro. There is no real proof of anything concerning Pink, and probably never will be, given their unwillingness to move forward. And this is a classic instance of Parlo throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
You should not be fucking doing that, dude. Should not be doing that, bro.
This allegation was a user named Assault.
Like you shouldn't be, because like he just stated, it's like you're giving him so much. When you do that, you are giving the person that you were accusing so much fucking wiggle room to just like not take you seriously or not respond to your shit and just completely walk away scot fucking free with what they did, right?
I was 16 at the time of them and Pyro interacting. They alleged that they sent Pyro free fetish content from an artist, to which Pyro asked to see more of their fetish content. Assault commission.
Oh, Assault, dude, no, yeah, this, I felt like there was enough circumstantial evidence to say that actually had happened.
The only thing is that Pyro requested to see their fetish content, but Parlo tries to claim Pyro sent more fetish content with another minor based on
I didn't even notice that.
Assault's testimony. The DMs only prove.
Yeah, no, he did kind of do that, and like it didn't. I don't know. His document feels like so shotgunned, like and disjointed. Like I didn't even pick up on that fucking detail. But no, his specific like interactions with Assault, it's like Assault was like openly like a minor, and I think he was like Assault was a popular YouTuber too. Like Pyro even gave him a shout out in one of his videos. Like everybody knew this kid was a fucking minor, and Pyro's like sitting there like talking about his fucking fetishes and shit like that with someone who he knows is a fucking minor, 15 years old, and he's like fucking 19. Like dude, like no, you have no fucking excuse there.
If he sent it rather than him sending content. Although their age was publicly on Twitter at the time, there's no indication that Pyro knew his age. Further,
no, but Assault was a popular fucking YouTuber though, right?
Claim of Pyro himself sending this user fetish chart is an unproven allegation and should be treated as such. Abortion ASMR is a user who made allegations against Pyro almost a year before Ivory made his experience public. They claim their age to have been 15 when Pyro was 19. They removed their post after saying she was harassed by Pyro fans, calling her a clout chaser, along with attempting to discredit and invalidate her post. In the DMs, which took place in September of 2016, Pyro sends fat fetish chart, which ASMR says is cute. Pyro then asks whether they have Skype. Once they move to Skype, Pyro immediately offers, if you're into thick, like no meme, I can send you some. After which he sends
like, dude, come on.
It's a light blobby fox commission and asks, what about the
abortion ASMR? No, yeah.
Yes. Abort says it's good, and Pyro offers to find even thicker if you want. He then sends Planet Commission and says the size of that gut is real nice. With Abort says it looks so squishy. He then moves to the gas part of his fetish, saying he can send more, but it's like super gassy. I don't know if you're into that.
It's super gassy.
Sending one of these images, Abort says she loves it, and Abort asks, like, you find it hot? Abort avoids the question and says the style is good. Pyro sends more.
You find it hot? Like, bro, oh my god, dude. It's like,
says, yeah, I love the gas, to be honest.
this is what I mean. Like, Abortion didn't hide her age, like, at all.
Just eating tons of food and letting out all that hot gas. Abort affirms she was into it before Thick, but couldn't find any good art. Pyro responds by giving them what I'd assume to be considered some good art, saying, look at all that hot gas being pumped out. Apparently the DMs were not shown in full, but this is what was highlighted at the time. Abortion ASMR maintained that Pyro sent her a beast farting furry porn in 2022 on her still active profile, Fertile Bigfoot. Even Parlo admits it is
Fertile Bigfoot. Jesus Christ, man.
unknown whether Pyro knew her age at the time. But
wait, how is it unknown?
There's also no proof shown of him checking, unsurprisingly.
Okay, no, it wasn't confirmed by Pyro, but she did not fucking hide her age, like, at all. That's the thing though, bro. Like, she didn't hide her fucking age at all. And he's like reaching out to these people. He's reaching out to these fucking accounts, and he's having intensive sexual conversations with these accounts. And like, it never clicked in your head that this person was a kid. I mean, maybe it is possible that he just like ran into it. Like, he didn't even bother reading the bio at all. Like, I don't know, bro. I just like, that's so hard. That's so hard to give the benefit of the doubt with, considering like how much, number one, like how these people never hit it at all. I don't know, dude.
Any more proof being shown, which is unlikely due to Skype clearing messages.
Sure, I mean, sure, like ultimately you can't know that he knew the fucking age, but like, I think there's enough circumstantial evidence to be like, okay, like we're really stretching. You're really stretching my fucking my perception here to get me to fucking think that you didn't know the fucking age.
Just another example of Pyro engaging in sending sexual art with a minor without age verifying, but is much less severe than his engagement with Ivory. Miobos made allegations that Pyro commissioned...
Because I also don't like the standard that like, oh, you could just talk sexually to whoever that you want, just as long as you never verify the age. You never have to actually like stop engaging sexually with someone. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't like that fucking standard. I don't like that standard at all. And I know that's not intentional from Amos, but it's like what is the implication that like, oh, you could just like, it's only bad when you acknowledge the age. It's like, I don't know, bro. I think at some point it's like, no, you had to have known the fucking age, especially when they're not hiding it at all.
As a minor for NSFW material.
I feel like I want to say that so badly, but obviously it's speculation, like at the end of the day.
Importantly though, Parlo admitted right out the gate that a lot of the evidence is just testimony. At best, Pyro knew of their account because they featured Muse fan art and liked one of their posts. Parlo makes a giant leap in taking the testimony at its word that Pyro commissioned the art in the video. Without anything definitive, there is no reason to take these claims seriously at this point. Turk alleges Pyro sent him furry face-setting pornography of Foxy and Chica from FNAF when he was 15. This person said their age on Twitter publicly at least once, and after adding Pyro on Twitter frequently, was followed by him. Supposedly, months later, Pyro sent him furry porn saying, "Hello baby, so allow me to offer you a foxy ass as a blessing." They responded with K, to which Pyro responded, "Love you baby, XOXO." If this is all true, it is reckless and irresponsible at best. It's entirely possible Pyro...
Dude, it's like how many times does this have to happen? How many times does this have to happen for you to be like, does he really not know the age? Like, I don't know, bro. Oh god, like the amount of fucking times he did it. It's like how many times do I have to give that good faith before it's just like, okay, no, you just like, at some point it honestly almost doesn't even matter that you didn't know the age. You've done it so many fucking times where it's just like, fuck you, get fucked, right? Like, you're a disgusting fucking freak, potential child predator. Like, I don't fucking know, dude. It's like that's so close to that, but you can't actually prove it. Jesus Christ, man. I kind of forgot how fucking like how much this guy did it. Jesus. Is SoFat's basically already censored? Oh.
Didn't see the few tweets this person had mentioning their age, and it was apparently not in their bio. Even if Pyro knew his age, their age gap was smaller than 3 years. However,
okay, well then.
If this is true, it shows Pyro would indeed do roleplay with almost anyone, as he attests in his, his video response. Trippy Fox was 15 when their allegations with Pyro took place, and was in the friend group Pyro was in with Solid Shibe and Sive. He put together Pyro's 800k sub special. In March
oh no, this is the person I was thinking of, not
assault. I don't think it was assault. I think it was this person.
Of 2024, Pyro had sent him free fetish porn when they were 15 and claimed Pyro knew their age. In the messages, Pyro sent an explicit image to which Trippy said, "This can be us," with Pyro asking which one would he be. Trippy states Pyro should be the one on the left, to which Pyro says, go on Skype now and delete this DM. This is certainly a strange response and does potentially show a pattern of Pyro wanting his more explicit conversations to take place on Skype. The age gap
oh god, it's like so fucking creepy, man.
Between the two is about 3 years, making it much less severe than the Ivory case. Furthermore, as explained before, there's no proof of Pyro knowing his age, only testimony from Trippy at this point.
Wait, how old?
The age gap between the two is about 3 years, making it much less severe than the Ivory
3 years? But dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, God, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, no, ultimately, okay, no, it's like, I'm more or less like coming to the same conclusion that I came to at the end of the fucking doc, where it's just like, it did seem to be the case. This guy just did not give a shit to check the age. But then it's like, what does that say about you? What does that say about you that you're willing to take the potential collateral of like grooming a minor into fucking like fetish pornography? Like, what does that fucking say about you, bro? Like,
furthermore, as explained before, there's no proof of Pyro knowing his age, only testimony from Trippy at this point. At the end of Pyro's
I think more or less, I think it's safe to say if he did know the age, he didn't care. Right? It's not like he hunted down these children, or at least some of the children, right? There's no. I mean, even with Ivory, I mean, you couldn't even argue that he hunted down Ivory, but it's like he wasn't seeking out minors. But it's just like when they happened to be on his timeline and seemingly into the same shit that he was, he felt that was like an invitation to just go fucking hog wild and to like not give a fuck about the age.
Video response, he shows a piece of artwork he commissioned by Spoopy Scary Aliens, who was 15 at the time, with Pyro being 19. This began with Pyro noticing an art piece Spoopy made of Asona cuddling with a body pillow. After this, he followed Spoopy and DM'd them saying, "Not even thick." Pyro complimented their art and asked how old they were, to which they stated that they were 15. She eventually did make it for him. In his response, Pyro downplays the situation, saying the images were not—
No, yeah, this fucking shit, dude, it's like, here's one of the instances where he did know the age and he kept fucking going. Right, so it's just like, no, he just doesn't care about the age.
Despite the character having a large bulge in the front end, Ken was an artist who was at the time nearly 17, who alleges he was sent fetish content by Pyro.
The
His
fuckers
bio showed
mentioned,
he was
yeah.
16. The art Pyro allegedly sent was merely suggestive and not explicit. There really isn't anything else to be said about these. The age gap isn't significant, and the art sent wasn't even explicit. Sokka was 15 at the beginning of his encounter with Pyro, and their age—
Wait, that was included? What the fuck? I didn't even fucking notice that. Wait, did I actually just skip over that one when I was reading the doc?
4 years. His tweet was shown in one of Pyro's videos, $3 BuzzFeed versus 9,999 BuzzFeed. And he has posted multiple instances of alleged Discord conversations he had with Pyro Cynical in 2016. The first conversation shown is a group chat where Pyro sends a screenshot of his entire conversation, a furry fetish porn he commissioned, unprompted. He claims Pyro sent him furry inflation porn in DMs, then deleted it. In a group chat with Pyro and his brother Chris, Saku's brother, says their birthday, affirming they are 16 at this time, with Pyro being 19, less than a 3-year age gap. Pyro sent more images of the NSFW after knowing this. And the worst of all of these even includes Cyrus, aka Wi-Fi Skeleton, a freak and notorious liar, testifying that Pyro apparently groomed him and that he knew Ivory's age. Cyrus is famously unreliable and frequently
I don't even know who the fuck that is, to be honest.
lied, including about his own allegations, so his testimony should hold no weight whatsoever, and their inclusion is mystifying. If you want to know more about Cyrus, I will put 2 videos on screen that I think are—
Oh, I heard about this. Didn't this guy fucking die? Didn't this person die?
somewhat decent in their coverage. To conclude this section, most of these allegations hold some weight, and several have little to no proof. They should be treated as such, and some, unless more proof is shown, should be disregarded entirely. Parlo uses these allegations as hard proof of the various
Which is like, yeah, like Parlo should have never included it, especially the ones where it's just like, okay, well, this age gap doesn't matter, like, at all. And it just felt like the more loose testimony and loose evidence that he added in this fucking shit, just like it just fucking cut it. Just cut it. Look, it doesn't prove much of anything other than his pattern of reaching out to people and not giving a fuck to check the age and shit like that, which is like you could just briefly, like, he had like segments in the document dedicated to each individual case, and it's like, dude, you did not need to do that, like, at all. Cyrus did die. He made himself a statistic. Damn.
He is trying to.
Well, if he is a predator, then R.I.P. nigga.
Be any picture of, and this is reckless, and exactly how Pyro got away with it the last time. His jumping to conclusions without evidence and putting forward insufficient proof before platforming allegations and acting like they are credible does not do any favors. It merely makes Pyro seem biased and unreliable.
Yep.
Arlo even had a section going after Pyrocynical's fans, and originally was going to have a series of 3 videos on the creator, with the second one being entirely dedicated to his audience apparently. Not
okay. To be honest, when I was doing the creepypasta stuff, there was some part of me that was like, I want to bring attention to some of these fucking people that were like fucking like straight up brazenly lying for creeps. But then like I got to a point where it's just like, when I was at the point where I could have written that into the script, I was just like, this is so fucking worthless. I don't want to fucking do it. Like, because the video should just stand on its own, and if it's not enough to convince those people, then they will never be convinced. And me adding them into the video is just like, it serves like zero purpose. Like being that petty serves zero fucking purpose.
Not only is this unproductive, it makes Parlo seem like even more of a spurg, and his willingness to go after the audience of a YouTuber whose actions are spurred by the YouTuber's decisions in the first place. Groupthink and blind offenses are a natural side effect of a YouTuber with a large younger audience, and that is the only point that needs to be made.
Thank for the $1 Wait, is it gonna play? It didn't play it. Oh, because I think I have it muted. Is it this? It didn't play it. Media file. Hold up. No, it's browser source. Is it browser source? Fuck. I don't know. It did this weird update thing. Tiny window. Is it this one? No, it didn't. Fuck! GTA 6 on strip class. I'll figure that out later, dude. What the fuck? Okay.
About it.
Thank you for the $1.
After all I've shown you today, here are my final thoughts on the Pyrocynical files. So much misinformation has been peddled throughout all of the circumstances surrounding Pyro. He essentially got away scot-free with reduced accountability. He has managed to lie, mischaracterize, and downplay situations to work for his benefit. Pyro's behavior is crystal clear when it
just wanted to drop by and say hi before I leave for work. Okay, hello.
Comes to the handling of his allegations, and his credibility should be questioned. I hate I even have to clarify this, but do I think Pyrocynical is a pedophile? No. Do I think he's
not enough?
Sure.
There's not enough to say that he's like pursuing. He's like specifically pursuing children, but goddamn, dude, did he put himself in many scenarios where like he would interact with children sexually and just didn't fucking care.
Like, people can debate in circles all day over the label, but it doesn't change the fact that the said autistic debating was what caused Pyro to get away with this egregious actions involving Ivory. Judging him solely off his actions, he has exhibited unjustifiable and reprehensible behavior. Tommy C put it the best all those years ago. It doesn't need to be grooming for this to be bad. Pyro, regardless of if it was grooming or not when it comes to Ivory or even the French girl, should be held accountable for what he did and the lies he spread to save his career. This has been the Pyrocynical Files. Peace.
Damn, is that it? Fuck, bro. Kamomo. Do you like Kamomo? I don't know what else to do.
I got a very
shut up.
Very
shut up. So this Ian Watkins guy die? I mean, like, okay, well, if he's a fucking pedophile, then get fucked. R.I.P. Bozo. I might end stream. I don't know. Because I don't know what else to fucking do. He's like the worst one. Yeah, because apparently he was like fucking toddlers and shit. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, get fucked. Bullet chase. Yo, thank you for the $1 again. It's not playing. Why isn't it playing? Is it playing? No, it's not. Dude. I don't know why it doesn't fucking play. I mean, I'll figure that out later, dude. I'll figure that out later, bro. Yeah, I don't know what else to fucking watch. I have no idea. I basically already did everything that I want to. Okay. Ah. Okay. Probably ending stream because I don't know what else.